joining the program 2 years ago, the senior guard has been a jack of all trades. Not only as a major scoring threat, but also as a key distributor, rebounder, and defender in his 2 seasons in a Trailblazer uniform. After earning honorable mention all RMAC honors last season, Jack wasted very little time putting the conference on notice that bigger things were on the horizon this season. In Dixie State's second game of the year versus Texas Tyler, Jack became the
ready for night number 2 of back-to-back games here on CEC TV and 97.7 ESPN as Dixie State coming off a win last night, trying to get it done again tonight on senior night. Devin Dixon, Mike Olson, Carrick Sagmiller, and excited to be back here for another exciting game. Last night was a lot of fun, guys, and we'll see what Coach Judkins and the team can do. Final regular season home game, special night for these seniors.
It's a huge night for some of these seniors as they honor Cameron Chatwin, Jack Pagankoff, and now Andre Wilson. You know, they've got a lot of work done on this floor in the past few years, and still a lot of work yet to be done.
Of course, if you missed last night, it was a Valentine's Day win, scoring 102 points, just kind of laying it to Adams State. There was that revenge factor. Tonight, Fort Lewis is in town, and the Skyhawks 13-10, 7-10 in RMAC play, a team that shoots about 43% from the field, 28% the last time they played Dixie State. A win for the Trailblazers. In that win a couple weeks ago, Dixie State shot really good. They went 38-65 from the field, 58%, and 10-22, Mike, 45% from downtown.
Yeah, it was streaks, right? I mean, they got it done the areas they need to. I love some of those stats. 37 rebounds average is huge, and they're going to need that again tonight.
Of course, big rebounding advantage last night for the Trailblazers, propelling them to that win. But new night tonight, and one Fort Lewis player we know quite a bit about. That's Logan Hokinson. Went to Desert Hills, a couple of years at Snow College, and now playing for the Skyhawks. And since Dixie State played him, he's got 27 assists to only 9 turnovers. So he's been playing a little bit better. But the Skyhawks have lost 5 straight coming into this game, including a loss last night against Westminster.
But in the past, they're a team that's just very good. I mean, they're very well coached. You know, Bob Petrak does a good job of coaching them into their sets, and they're very disciplined. But they're at that point in the season where you mentioned that losing streak. They're either looking to snap that losing streak and get some momentum going into the tournament, or they're willing to just fold it up. Tonight we'll find out a lot about this Fort Lewis team who is coming to a tough environment. You know, this is a tough road trip where you go Westminster and then make that long drive down and back down I-15 to Burns Arena and face this crowd on senior night playing a hot Dixie State team. That's a tough task for the Skyhawks.
What a special night for the Trailblazers. It's not often that you see teams lose on their senior night. I mean, most times I've showed up over the years. It happens on occasion, but you know, the freshmen want to do it, the sophomores want to do it, and the juniors want to do it for those seniors. And the seniors certainly don't want to lose in this senior night with their parents and friends and family here in attendance. And you can see some special players. I mean, Jack Pagankoff's career he's had. You mentioned the seniors, but they're gonna have their hands full with Riley Ferris. This guy is a really talented, crafty post player, a high-volume shooter, and they got to slow him down. He's scoring 28 minutes and 24 points a game on average coming into 96-9 redshirt junior. He's the premier player for Fort Lewis.
He is. He's the guy they're going to look to when they need a bucket. He's also the guy that can get very hot. We saw last night a few guys for Adams State that they went on that, 12-0 run in 1:27 seconds. It's guys like that can really cause problems. They can score really quick. It's like that instant offense. You just add water, and they're going to provide instant offense. They can do it off the dribble. They can do it from deep. Very tough offensive player.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Great, Carrick. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be back here in the Burns Arena tonight for some exciting Dixie State basketball, hosting Fort Lewis on senior night. And we had to get some things attended to here on the scores table. We've got internet back up and running. And, an ovation for these seniors as they make their way off the floor. And, always not necessarily tough to play on senior day. A lot of guys look forward to it. Saw the women get a big win for their seniors over at Fort Lewis. First time they beat Fort Lewis since 2006. So they're setting the tone. We'll see if the men's team can continue to do the same thing. They've got 3 minutes back up on the clock now. They'll bring Fort Lewis out. They'll get about 3 more minutes to warm up, and then we'll get this thing tipped off and underway. But before we do this, let's have some Lonnie Boys Barbecue's keys to the game. What do you got for us tonight, Deb?
Well, I mean, Jack Pagankoff was special last night. Messed around, almost got a triple-double, 11, 10, and 9. And Coach Judkins probably probably didn't want to even put him back in the game, but Adams State went on that little run. So I want to see him break the record. We talked about it a lot last night for our audience that wasn't with us last night or didn't listen in. He tied Dan Stock for the single season assist record and just 1 assist tonight, which he's going to get, and he's going to break the single season record, which is pretty cool. It's kind of fun to talk to Coach Judkins a little bit about that last night at the post-game show, and he was very complimentary of all those players. We talked about Trevor Hill and Kimball Payne and all the guys he passed in one game last night. So I want to get that out of the way early. Get
First
that
possession.
assist.
Let's go. First possession.
And then he can just settle in and do his thing. But Dixie State on offense, they want to get as many extra possessions as they can. We saw them crash the glass last night. That's going to be another key, I think. No turnovers. They got to really value the basketball, especially because of the second half. They only had 3 first-half turnovers last night, and then they had way too many in the second half. Juddy was not happy with that. And as always, they want to try to control the tempo. And then their ball screen offensive execution, guards engaging the bigs, guards waiting for the screen, bigs being decisive and strong with the ball. We'll watch for that. On defense, I think their post defense is going to be really big. They've got to defend the 3-point line. They've got shooters all over on this Fort Lewis team. They got to defend for all 30 seconds and defend without fouling. Don't want to get anybody in foul trouble tonight. That's always a huge key. If you can have the full arsenal of the bench, you don't have to change up your rotation because of foul trouble. So there's some Lonnie Boys offense and defensive keys I think are important tonight.
Lonnie Boys Barbecue's keys to the game, and the team's warming up here as we get set for this matchup between Fort Lewis, 13-11 overall, 7-11 in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. Dixie State, on the other hand, 20-4. They got to that magical number 20 last night, but they're not finished yet. You got 4 games in the regular season, including tonight's game, plus the RMAC tournament, plus, the end goal is this year not only getting to the NCAA tournament, but you see all those banners hanging in the Burns Arena rafters, and only one of those banners represents wins in the NCAA tournament. That's the season, or that's the goal this season. But you got to play each individual game first, and it starts with Fort Lewis tonight, trying to sweep the season series with the Skyhawks and trying to keep pace with Black Hill State, tied with the Yellow Jackets atop the RMAC standings. This Trailblazer team, they want to, not only play in the RMAC tournament, they don't want to just host the quarterfinal, but they want to host the semifinals and the finals as well, and what a fun opportunity that would be for the Trailblazers to have more home games in front of this home crowd.
And you know what? Don't want to really talk about it because it's all about those seniors tonight, but they're going to play at home on March 3rd. They're going to play at home, and we'll see if they're home that Friday and Saturday later in that week hosting those games. We've seen the Burns Arena become such a huge home court advantage under Coach John Judkins, and even prior to that. It's a tough place to play. It's one of the nicest arenas you'll find at the D2 level. It's going to, it doesn't need renovations when you jump to the WAC. Seats almost 5,000 people, and we got a good crowd in the building here tonight for this one.
Absolutely. Let's step away. We're time for our national anthem inside the Burns Arena after the extended pregame show with the senior night stuff. Now we got the national anthem. Let's step away. 2-minute timeout, and then we come back with our Boulevard Home starting lineups and the tip. Dixie State, Fort Lewis coming at you on the Trailblazer Basketball Network after this 2-minute timeout.
We may have started out small, but we were great. Families and fans rallied behind their team. The community cared, and everyone showed up to cheer. Now, we're bigger than ever. Dixie State is going to Division I.
Here we go in transition, and he throws it down with one hand.
But at the end of the day, it's the community and fans that make us great. Whether you give $5 or 1,000, every dollar, every seat in the stands, every one of you can help blaze our trail to Division I athletics, because this is our team.
Radio Dixie 91.3, Young the Giant, something to believe in.
John, what song do you want to hear?
Next, Miss Calendris. You'll be on the SWAT team, the best SWAT team. Just a fantastic situation.
I should talk to you. I was going to talk to you last time.
today. We'll be sure to check in.
Hopefully next year will be awesome.
4, 3, 2, 1.
From black, roll the open.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. It's time for Trailblazer basketball. As you got to listen into the last half of the national anthem, very rousing rendition, beautiful rendition of the national anthem inside the Burns Arena. Now we are ready to play some basketball. Before we get this thing tipped off and underway, we've got to give you some Boulevard Home starting lineups, and let's start with the Skyhawks of Fort Lewis, coming to us from Durango, Colorado. Beautiful town over in Colorado. Love Durango. Been fun to go over for some football games over the last few years, and gonna miss that place. But tonight's all about basketball. Boulevard Home starting lineups for you, the Skyhawks of Fort Lewis. And as you mentioned, Devin, familiar name in that starting lineup for everyone here in Southern Utah. It's Logan Hokanson, 5'11", 165-pound junior guard from right here in St. George and Desert Hills High School, getting to start for the Skyhawks tonight.
Yeah, and he's a good shooter, always was, really quick, likes to ball fake, dribble, drive, but he's developed. He's much better than he was at Desert Hills, and he was a great prep player. But I think his 2 years at Snow was perfect for him because he's not very big, and now getting a chance to jump up a level. And like I said, 27 assists and 9 turnovers since Dixie State last played them. So he's been really good with the basketball, and I'm sure he's got a lot of friends and family here to watch him play tonight, so he wants to put on a show.
Yeah, he's definitely a great player. He's one, like you said, he's going to have a big night tonight, and he might be that spark Fort Lewis is looking for to get him going. Very familiar with the arena. Look for some great things from Logan Hokanson tonight.
A little bit of an advantage, though, still probably Jack Pagankoff. I mean, that guy does not get tired, and he's got a senior night for him. So that's going to be a little bit of a tough matchup when they're head-to-head. But I expect Logan to hold his own. There's no question. He's played a lot of games and tournaments and the Coach Walk Classic right here on this floor.
Other starters for the Skyhawks tonight. They start 6'7", 198-pound senior guard Danny Garrick. They also start Will Whitman, 6'5", 195-pound junior forward. A Corey Sang, 6'4", junior guard forward combo. And then Riley Ferris, 6'9", 245-pound junior forward. It's Riley Ferris out of Texas. Their main leading scorer is Ferris, and he's going to look to have a big game tonight. Now for the Trailblazers tonight, getting the start. It's all the seniors. It's senior night. You got to put all the seniors in the starting lineup, and tonight they go like this. Jack Pagankoff, Dason Youngblood also getting the start, although not a senior, but is getting the start. And then Andre Wilson getting the start, Cameron Chatwin getting the start, and then Hunter Schofield getting the start. All three of the seniors in the starting lineup for the Trailblazers tonight as they start Andre Wilson and Cameron Chatwin. And we'll see how long they go with that lineup, but that's a Coach Judkins thing. He likes to get his starters in the starting lineup. A few years ago, when they had 6 seniors, there wasn't enough spots to get them all in the starting lineup. But this year they've got 3. They're all in the starting lineup, and here we go. Starting lineups in the books. Let's play basketball, guys.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Dixie gets off without the services of Jared Green tonight. Not being able to play in street clothes, watching that dynamic. They played most of the night without him last night, going down, the second possession. So
yeah, scored on the possession.
Yeah, it's not something that they are curious about. They played a full game last night, but starting a game without him is something they haven't done for a long time. It'll be interesting to see how they make that adjustment.
But you need him healthy for the stretch run. So with that ankle just a little nicked up, I mean, really not a hard decision here to give him some rest because you'll have some time off until that next weekend road trip. So you got to, trainers and coaches, staff have to work together on things like that because this run coming up is going to be vital.
Huge.
Here we go. It'll be Schofield for the Trailblazers, Ferris for the Skyhawks. The opening tap. Referee makes the toss. The Skyhawks going to win it. Fort Lewis in the baby blue road uniforms. Dixie State, the home whites. Let's play ball. Here's Hokanson, right wing. We'll drop it into Whitman. Whitman kicking it left side to Singh. Singh back to Whitman. Now they're looking inside of Ferris. A tip and a steal for Andre Wilson. The Trailblazers force a turnover on the first Fort Lewis possession of the night. And I will see what Dixie State can drop offensively. Pagankoff angling right. Holds up on the wing, now to Youngblood. Top of the key, Youngblood accelerates high off the window, missed it. The rebound to Ferris in Fort Lewis. Quickly up the floor. Here's Singh. Singh, top of the key, but an offensive foul. Andre Wilson drew an offensive foul on the pass from Corey Singh.
Not very often do you see an offensive foul that far away from the basket. You can see where the offensive foul committed was below the block on the other side of the basket, almost out of bounds. So that's a smart play right there by the senior, understanding that he's out of control. It's not going to affect the play, but Andre Wilson stood his ground knowing that he's going to take that charge, even if it is an awkward spot of the floor.
No, so often you leave your feet like that wrapping around, you see a reverse lane or something else, but that was a strange play, but a smart play, I agree.
Skyhawks were showing some full court pressure. Now they've backed it up. Dixie State will settle into the half-court offense. 18 to shoot. It's Pagankoff looking inside. Schofield. And Schofield missed an offensive rebound. Chatwin, no, he stepped on the line. Going back to Fort Lewis.
When you look at the size of Fort Lewis, this is a team that really matches up well with Dixie State. They've got the same length. You know, physically they match up very well, and it's causing some problems early for the post. Those first two possessions, they can switch big to big. They can switch and make things complicated.
18:40 to go. Dixie State and Fort Lewis scoreless. Just over a minute gone by. And scoreless no more. Sang will not get a three from the left wing for Fort Lewis, and the Skyhawks take a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, good looking shot right there. They got a number of shooters on this team. Defending the three is going to be vital for Dixie State.
Pagankoff stops and pops in the paint. He gets it to go, cutting the lead to 1. 3-2, Fort Lewis a lead with 18:20 to go first half.
I don't know if he can flirt with a triple-double again, but a great start there. That little fadeaway, he likes that shot, and he's, really good in that range, that 14, 15-foot range.
Remember, when Pagankoff gets his first assist of the night as they go inside to Ferris, and he loses it, and out of bounds, Dixie State's got it. Will it happen on this possession? Jack Pagankoff needs 1 assist to pass Dan Stock on the single-season assist record, and he'll look to do it early in this game.
And that's a special honor for a point guard, right? That's the one you want. You want to be that guy that can distribute and play unselfish and get other players good looks. And Jack's a great scorer, too. So if he's got open shots, he's going to keep shooting them.
Pagankoff drives in shot blocked as he tried to scoop and score, and it's Sang that comes up with it for the Skyhawks. Sang, three-point land straight away, now right side to Garrick. Garrick inside, Ferris will lay it up and in. 5-2, Fort Lewis a 3-point lead, 17:30 to go. Here in half number 1. Youngblood looking inside Schofield, too much on the pass. Threw it out of bounds, and another turnover for Dixie State. Fort Lewis gets it back. 17:26 to play. Dixie State, a 5-2 advantage. Trailing 5-2. In the early going here. Trailblazers got to their 20th win last night, looking for win number 21 on this season tonight. They go inside Ferris, backing in on Chatwin, and he gave Chatwin a big shoulder and knocked him over. No offensive foul call, and Ferris able to score easily with Chatwin on his back on the ground. 7-2, Fort Lewis have a 5-point lead and a full court pressure. Pagankoff is trapped. He throws it off the foot and out of bounds. The Dixie State will maintain. Trailblazers have 5 seconds to get it across the timeline. Youngblood into Chatwin, back to Youngblood, and he'll race it across the timeline. Youngblood to Andre Wilson, catch and shoot 3, right corner, too strong. And the rebound to Danny Garrick and the Skyhawks.
And nobody really in there in the mix to try to get an offensive rebound on that set. Quick shot, 1 and done for Dixie State.
16:43 to go here in half number 1. Ferris at the free throw line, backing in on Youngblood, a mismatch. He takes advantage of it, and he'll jump it and score it. 9-2. Fort Lewis the lead, 16:30 to go. I'm kind of looking over to the bench and saying, Dixie State going to take a timeout. They're going to let it ride at least another possession or two, with a media timeout coming up quickly.
Well, Coach Judkins just looked at his bench and said, hey, guys, we ready to play yet?
Youngblood, free throw line jumper. There it is, 9-4, cutting the lead to 5. Dixie State trailing by 5, 16-10 to go first half. Whitman to Hokanson. Top of the key now, Garrick. Fires a 3 straight away. It rattles out. Jack Pagankoff the rebound.
Love when your point guard's down there in the middle of the key grabbing boards.
Pagankoff leaning inside, trying to scoop it off the window. He missed it. And he couldn't get it to go. Here goes Fort Lewis the other way. Hokanson fires a 3. It rims out. He missed it.
And a good look there for Hoke, too. I mean, straight away. Not to be, though.
Dixie State gathers the rebound and go down the other way. Chatwin will try a three left wing. It's short. And a rebound to Daddy Garrick.
And again, nobody really in the mix to get an offensive rebound. Another quick possession, empty possession for Dixie State.
9-4, Dixie State trailing by 5, 15-15 to play here at half number 1. Whitman driving baseline left, passing the end line into the right corner. Now here's Hokanson on the right wing, stripped out of his hands and off of Dixie State and out of bounds. Trailblazers trailing by 5, 9-4. We're going to have Nichols coming in. Frank Stain will check in, but first, the media timeout. 9-4, Dixie State trailing by 5, 15:03 to go. 1 minute timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Camping World is here to help you connect to adventure and explore the outdoors with friends and family. Offering new and pre-owned RVs to fit every budget and thousands of parts and accessories for any need. Camping World has it all. With over 130 supercenters nationwide, you're never far from America's #1 RV dealer. No matter where your adventures take you, whether you need an RV, parts, or service, Camping World is here to help you every step of the way. Visit Camping World in St. George or shop campingworld.com today.
Dixie State basketball on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. 15:03 to go. Dixie State trailing by 5, 9-4. Fort Lewis 66% for the field in the early going. Trailblazers just 2 of 8 from the field. Dixie State finding themselves in an early 5-point hole. Fort Lewis the possession out of the timeout. It'll be Hokanson to trigger, baseline right side. Holding, will lob it out to Miguel, and it's going to take a review as the shot went up. Did they get the shot off before the shot clock expired?
It was close.
Very close.
And that's why they immediately said, let's look at that. They want to see if it's a violation or not. Juddy was right there. He thought maybe he did not quite get it off, but they'll go to the replay monitor, make sure they get this one right.
The call on the floor is a made basket.
Yeah.
So the
It's got to
review
be
sees the
conclusive.
shot. Yeah.
They're going to go back to the monitor and take a look at it. And it looks like the shot is out of his hand with 1 second still up on the shot clock.
Just barely a bucket, I think. I'm not. I mean, we don't have the decibels. We just got that 1, but I think right about there for our television audiences. He's still touching his finger. There's still 1 on the clock. So this, now that this is going to take our monitor, I can't see. But it was close. It was, I mean, worth looking at. Right, Mike?
Very close, extremely close.
Yeah, it's good. Bucket's good. I think they got it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Barely.
You can clearly see there's still 1 second. Of course, it doesn't show tenths of a second, but there was still 1 second on the shot clock as Levi Miguel was able to get the shot up and off the window and in, and it's 11-4 Fort Lewis lead.
Well, it's great because it gave Coach Judkins a free timeout to kind of get his guys regrouped and get them focused on what they're doing. Seeing an 11-4 deficit, you know, they've got 58 seconds to immediate timeout, but it'll be interesting to see what happens here on this offensive play.
Here's Youngblood.
2 for 8. Trailblazers just got to shoot a little bit better right now. Nothing falling in this early going.
Nichols and Stain into the game for Dixie State, and there's Stain driving inside. A good look off the window left side, but it rolls off the iron, and here come the Skyhawks. Hokanson holding left wing, crosses over to the left, slows it up, now accelerates baseline left, passes the inline, it's stolen away by Jacob Nichols.
Great anticipation there by Nichols because he wasn't really looking. He had to kind of gauge it as it was coming to him.
That Paganikoff is fouled by Miguel.
That's a type of foul that you wonder if they're going to continue to call that all night long. You know, not a lot of contact, but there's that hand check you can see, right? Just a little bit of contact, but that's something you can call all game long. It'll be interesting to see if that's the way that guard play is going to be called. If so, it's going to really change the dynamic.
Schofield, a handoff to Frank Stain, right back into Schofield. They're going to go one-on-one, Schofield and Ferris is going to get called for a foul.
Fort Lewis choosing not to double team Hunter Schofield. They're wanting to go that one-on-one in the post. And Phil Ferris can match him man-to-man and body to body. He's got the length. You can see that whole side of the floor is isolated post. There's no double team. That's just one-on-one. Hunter Schofield made his move and went out of bounds.
Ferris will take a breather, and Brendan Boatwright will check in. And a 5-second violation against Dixie State. They couldn't get the ball in.
Yeah, really slow start. A little surprise, guys. I don't know if it's a senior night or what, but just have not found the early going rhythm that we're accustomed to here at home. Give Fort Lewis some credit, though.
Yeah.
They've come with the energy here tonight in the get-go.
11-4, Dixie State trailing by 7. Fort Lewis the possession. 14 minutes remaining in half number 1. They'll lob inside of Boatwright. Boatwright working on Schofield. On the left block, will bounce it inside, intended for Danny Garrick, but is stolen by Hunter Schofield. Ahead to Pagankoff, and he'll drive it coast to coast and lay it up and in.
Jack in transition, so smooth, and just blow by, lay in with a kiss off the window. Good stuff there from Jack.
Or Lewis the other way. There's Miguel, left wing. Miguel, baseline left, runs over Hunter Schofield, offensive foul. Dixie State gets it back.
There's got to be something in the film or something that Dixie State has seen on Fort Lewis, because that's about the 4th or 5th attempted charge. They're looking for it. They've seen something and they've talked about it, because it's there all night. And you've got guys willing to do it, that's one thing. But when those opportunities are there and you take advantage of it, that can be a great asset there for Dixie State.
Andre Wilson will check in for Dason Youngblood. Trailblazers will walk it up the floor. 13:25 to play first half. Dixie State trying to fight back from an early 7-point deficit, trailing 11-6 right now. Nichols, three-point land straight away. Kicks it back out. Pagankoff has it knocked out of his hands. He'll chase it down at the timeline, 10 to shoot. Gets a screen from Nichols. Has it knocked out of his hands again, and a reaching foul. We're going to be called against Fort Lewis. A Quill Cott nailed for the foul. And that's team foul number 5 against Fort Lewis already. No fouls called against Dixie State.
Well, they're not going to allow any of that. There's no reaching. That's the same thing. It's going to answer that question. Are they going to allow that reach? Are they going to allow that hand contact? Not so far. So what that's going to do, it's going to cause those Fort Lewis guards and Dixie guards to gap a little bit. That'll give Jack and guys like Andre Wilson more room to shoot, which could really open up that three-point game for Dixie State.
Frank Stain will lob it to Hunter Schofield. Good look. Hunter catches and scores off the window with the left hand.
Sensational little touch pass over the top, and easy bucket right there. It might have been the easiest bucket of the night, but that was a tough pass to get it going.
There's a lot of trust there. You know, that's a long lob pass.
11-8, Dixie State within 3 now. Inside to Boatwright for Fort Lewis. Fadeaway jumper in the paint, and it goes. Died on the back iron and fell through.
I thought Hunter Schofield maybe should have bodied him up, got to close that gap. He kind of gave him a little space and allowed him to go over the top.
And a whistle and a foul away from the ball will go against Brendan Boatwright, as he and Hunter Schofield were going at it. And that's the 6th team foul against Fort Lewis.
Man, Boatwright, redshirt sophomore, 6'9", Carlsbad, New Mexico, went to Carlsbad High School, and he's trying to plead his case that I just put my forearm there, you know, just to kind of body up. They're calling it tight.
Pagankoff to trigger, baseline right. Over to Wilson. Wilson will bounce to Schofield, quickly to Jack, left wing. Pagankoff to the baseline left, accelerates the bucket, lays it up and in with the left hand.
Just put in another gear there, Jack to the rack with the lay-in, love it.
13-10, Dixie State within 3 again. 12-13 to go. Right side, now swing it over to LaRose. Top of the key, Garrick for 3, splashes home a 3 and a whistle. The basket will count. And it's going to be a foul against Frank Stain. So a chance at a 4-point play for the Skyhawks for Danny Garrick.
And he's
they didn't give him room to land.
He's just right there stepping into that. And I don't see a lot there, guys. That's a tough call against Frank. But great shot. Just don't know if he deserved the extra one there.
Yeah, and he missed the free throw. 16-10, Dixie State trailing by 6. 12 minutes to go, media timeout coming on the next whistle. Pagankoff will bounce inside Schofield, And his shot is blocked. Offensive rebound, Nichols. He's fouled from behind. It'll be LaRose picking up the foul. And free throws coming for Jacob Nichols after the timeout. 11:53 to go. Dixie State trailing 16-10. Take a 1-minute timeout. Come back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
When Southern Utah thinks of home furnishings, they think of Boulevard Home. But when Boulevard Home thinks about home, Southern Utah comes to mind. In 1974, local pioneer descendant Tony Whitwer decided to start a furniture business. He decided to name it after Southern Utah's most famous street, St. George Boulevard. Even though Tony has retired, his family's legacy still lives in who we are, a company dedicated to one goal, making your house home. Boulevard Home. Home is who we are.
.11:53 to play. Dixie State trailing 16-10 in the early going against Fort Lewis. Not Cameron Chatwin, but Jacob Nichols will go to the free throw line for a pair of free throws after being fouled by Brandon LaRose. The Trailblazers just 38% from the field. Meanwhile, Fort Lewis a blistering 77% from the field, 7 of 9. And Dixie State also being out-rebounded by a slim margin, 6-5.
Yeah, in this next 4-minute battle, next 4 minute, Juddy challenged him in that timeout. Close this gap. We'd love to see the next 4 minutes Dixie State tie this game up or somehow retake the lead.
Nichols will miss the first free throw, and he'll have one more.
He almost blocked that shot with his elbow, LaRose did, and got caught with that foul.
Second free throw up, and good. Hits the back iron and falls through. 16-11. Dixie State trailing by 5. 11:53 to go. Clock didn't start on time as Fort Lewis was walking the ball back up the floor.
Good crowd here tonight, guys.
That's solid. Great crowd. I mean, there will be an RMAC tournament game in a couple of weeks, but this is the last regular season game inside this building. It's early. It's only February 15th. We had senior night tonight already.
Big weekend at St. George. I mean, there's a lot of people in town. There's
President's Day weekend.
You got the parade. You got
soccer tournaments.
Baseball.
You probably got kids playing soccer all over the place, don't you, Deb?
No, I actually have one in soccer, and she didn't play this weekend.
Okay.
I've been at the golf course today.
There you go.
The golf courses were busy today. We had the demo day out at Coral Canyon. It was fun. Hit some of the new stuff.
Got to spend a good 7.5 hours watching volleyball today.
Oh, you guys had volleyball? Yeah.
They're still trying to get the clock situated in the right amount of time on the clock.
This just kills momentum. Dixie's trying. They're begging to get this crowd going. Coach Judkins is begging for some kind of energy, and it seems like there's just one stop after another. The officials are going to look at a few other things here. It's hard to get this game going.
You're going to add 2 seconds is what they've deciphered. So 11:48, they'll add just 2 on the clock. And now Dixie State will get kind of another bonus timeout, Mike.
No, they've got to figure out something. They've yet to get their rhythm offensively. We talked about what is this offense going to be like without Jared Green. I'm not saying that that's the problem, but they're yet to find their groove. They're trying to find something. They'll probably switch up their defenses a little bit, maybe try some different sets offensively, find something. Coach Judkins is trying to find the buttons to push.
Ooh, lob. Fort Lewis is going to get a lob and an alley-oop. Didn't dunk it, but laid it in. Did Brendan LaRose, and he is fouled on the play. So an opportunity to three-point play on a deep lob from the left side. It was Cott who put it up there, and LaRose goes up high and taps it in.
Jacob Nichols didn't get caught on a screen. It wasn't, he just lost sight of the ball, and that was a long lob pass. So he had time to go and get it and disrupt that that lob, but just caught Dixie State sleeping on the defensive end.
They'll miss the free throw, so just the 2 points. Dixie State trailing by 7, 18-11, 11:30 remaining. Year and a half number 1, Frank Stain. Top of the key is Jack Pagankoff. Jack accelerates, drives inside, stops. Probably could have taken a shot. He was open and instead throws it away into the left corner. Thought Stain was still in the left corner. He let that ball fly and then immediately knew that Frank had moved, a turnover.
Yeah, but he's got to shoot that shot, right,
Yeah,
guys?
he's open.
I mean, once he turned around and faced the basket, he's got to just bank that from about 10 feet out. That's a high percentage shot for Jack. He just decided to pass it.
Well, normally that's his trademark. He kind of fakes the pass and spins and then fades away and shoots.
Yeah, and he knows
Didn't
where
take
he's
it.
at as far as needing 1
Yeah.
assist.
And Dixie State going to be whistled for a foul on the other end.
And that's
It'll
why
be Andre Wilson.
That's why we were talking about the pregame, getting that single season record on that first possession. Get it
Yeah,
out of the way
get it
so
out of
you
the
can
way.
just play and not have to worry about it. He played now almost 9 minutes of game time action, and he hasn't picked up that dime yet.
18-11. Cott will drive inside, leans, scoops it, no. Frank Stain, a one-handed rebound, will pull it down, head to Pagankoff into the left corner. Quick pass to Nichols, whips it out, top of the key. Chatwin for 3, too strong off the back iron. Fort Lewis the rebound. Dixie State trailing 18-11. Trailblazers just 11 points over the first 9 minutes of this first half.
And just shooting 35% right now, 5 of 14 from the field, and haven't hit a 3 yet.
And Fort Lewis, Riley Ferris getting inside, and he'll score it, 20-11. And Dixie State wants a timeout. Coach Judkins said, hey, this isn't working.
Mr.
We got to figure this out. We got to get out of the jumper cables. We need a jump start.
Ferris,
What's
4
what
for
it's
4,
gonna be?
guys. I mean, he's been playing well. They got to find an answer for him. I mean, 6'9", and he hasn't missed from the field, already 8 points in just 7 minutes. Remember, he took a little break there for a couple minutes, so they got to maybe throw the double team at him a little quicker.
You know, last night we were talking about Adams State's inability to score, and at the 10-minute mark last night they only had 10 points, and we were talking about, you know, the lack of efficiency that Adams State has. Well, right now with 10:30 to go in the first half, Dixie State has 11 points. They've yet to find that rhythm, and you know, I think the message Coach Judkins is trying to give to his team is, guys, this does not happen automatically. You have to earn it. You have to go out and play. Nobody is going to just give you a win. You've got to go out and get it done. And right now they haven't been able to do that. They're lacking that fire. Somebody off the bench has got to get this team sparked.
Well, Fort Lewis knows Dixie State's ranked 15th in the country. They got a bullseye on their back. They can play a big-time spoiler role tonight.
Andre Wilson will drive it in coast to coast and then dish to Chatwin. And Chatwin lays it in out of the timeout. Trailblazers within 7, 20-13, 10-13 remaining. During the timeout, Leighton Parker and Dason Youngblood checked in for the Trailblazers. Here's LaRose looking inside Ferris, and he gets around Chatwin. He's fouled by Chatwin. And that'll be team foul number 4 against Dixie State. Chatwin's first. And Hunter Schofield will check back in for Dixie State. Chatwin will get a rest.
That's good fighting around there by Cameron Chatwin. He went low side trying to get around. He just had his hands tangled up. But I can tell you right now, Coach Judkins wants at least 3 straight stops.
And Fort Lewis going to turn it over. They pass it into the right corner to Garbra. And he lost it right through his fingertips and out of bounds.
Tough. The proximity there, pretty close there from the elbow to the corner, and just went right through his hands. Just maybe a little too hot to handle.
20-13. Dixie State. 7-point lead. Youngblood, a jumper from the left side. It's too strong. And Fort Lewis the rebound.
Dason had that hot start last night, but just 1 of 3 from the floor to start this game tonight.
A foul the other way. It's Hunter Schofield will pick up a foul, his first. Junior Garbra was bumped on his way inside. They'll wave off the shot, so no free throws. Foul is on the ground. Hokanson back in for the Skyhawks, and he'll trigger baseline right side. Lobs into LaRose, swinging it far side to Garrick. Garrick back to LaRose. And over to Hokanson, touch pass left corner. Whitman 3 on the way, too strong. Tapped out by LaRose, and Garrick able to chase it down, and the Skyhawks reset. Whitman to Garrick, and he'll fire a 3 left wing. It's too strong. Dixie State the rebound.
And now Skyhawks just 2 of 6 from distance. Got a couple early, but they've cooled off a little bit.
Wilson bumped, And free throws coming for Andre Wilson, at least the 1-and-1 variety. To try to make the first and earn the second. It's Garrick. Fouled Andre Wilson as there was a screen coming and tried to slip the screen, and he bumped in Andre Wilson.
Again, it's a hand check. You know, their officials are consistent. Tonight, they're calling that hand check, and Fort Lewis is really trying to get into Dixie State and disrupt some stuff off the dribble, and they're calling those hand checks really tight.
Andre will make the front end. One more.
And you got to, as a player, you got to adjust, right? You got to adjust, and that's tough to do because this is a team that wants to come in and put their physicality on display and really frustrate Dixie State. But just a little bump, not a lot, but they're calling it tight tonight. As a player, you just simply have to adjust, or you're going to foul out.
Yeah, a lot of guys foul out tonight at this rate. 20-15, Dixie State trailing by 5 as Wilson makes both free throws. Brought to you by Vintage Canyonlands. 8:55 remaining. And a turnover. That pass was intended for Riley Ferris in the lane, and he got his feet tangled up and was kind of stumbling through the lane. Wasn't there to make the catch, and it's a turnover.
And he's got a tape up around the mid-calf area. You got to adjust that there. Maybe fighting some kind of a cut or some kind of an injury. I'm not sure.
Parker to the left corner. Wilson, top of the key, Schofield puts the ball on the floor, leaves for Youngblood. Youngblood slices inside, stops, spins, fires it up with the right hand, but misses. And the rebound to Fort Lewis.
Yeah, good little spin move to create a little fadeaway from the middle of the key. Just didn't hit the shot.
Hokinson to Ferris, three-pointer straight away. He buries it.
Yeah.
6'9", 245 pounds, and he can score from anywhere in the gym.
Yeah, he showed it there, didn't he? He caught and shot. He didn't even hesitate.
23-15, Dixie State trailing by 8. 8:08 remaining. Parker inside to Nichols. He missed the layup. And a late whistle will ring out. And that'll send Nichols to the free throw line. Who are they going to get? It's Ferris, and that's his second. With 8:03 to go, that could be an emerging storyline. He's got 2 fouls with 8:03 to go in the first half.
And not a lot there again. If I'm Ferris, I'm just kind of laughing right now. Like, what do I do? He felt like he really didn't have a lot of contact. There was no body contact, and maybe got just a little bit of the wrist, but tough call. I thought Nichols should have made that. The second look, I mean, he kind of let him go.
I mean, he might have got him on the initial reach. Maybe
that's what
that's what it was, and we're in the one and. Well, no, it's a 2-shot foul though.
But on that reach,
I mean, that should have been. If they're going to call that foul, probably should have been on the ground.
No, Jacob would have finished with his left hand. It would have been an easy 2-and-1.
Yeah,
that was a wide open lane to the basket, easy shot. Could have easily finished that with the left hand.
Nichols will split the pair of free throws, and Dixie State back to within 7. 23-16, 8:03 to go until halftime. Trailblazers still trying to wake up here. Paganikoff picks up Hokinson. Meanwhile, the Skyhawks go inside, and a layup is short. Ball tapped around. Schofield grabs it as Whitman couldn't get it to go underneath the basket. Paganikoff will race it up the floor. Bounces inside. Youngblood lays it up and in. There it is.
A record.
Single season assist record. 148 assists this season. And there we go. That's out of the way. Now he can settle down and play his game.
And great finish by Youngblood to help him out there. Wraparound reverse, a little English off the backboard.
The other way, Garrick drives inside and he's fouled. Free throws coming for Danny Garrick. Dixie State trailing by 5, 23-18, 7:25 to go. Jack Paganikoff is now your Dixie State single season assists leader. An addition side to Youngblood, who reversed from left to right and scored it. We'll take a 1-minute timeout and come back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
Kicker! I got this.
That's why you use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy. So Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
When you need home furnishings, buy Squire, buy at the Boulevard, where you get the best name brands and the best prices, along with the best services. We invite you to visit their beautiful St. George store and showroom, or shop online at boulevardhome.com.
Trailing it by 5, 23-18, but just before the break, Jack Pagankoff recorded his 148th assist of the season. Now that's got the monkey off his back on a great look inside of Youngblood and a great finish. They're within 5 now, and maybe this team can settle in and play the rest of this game.
Well, I've got a confession to make, fellas. I was looking at the offensive rebound. I heard both of you talk about Jack's assist. I missed it. I didn't even get to see it. So,
Did you see the replay?
I'm going to take your word for it. That was a great pass. But, when you look at this,
they're going to run it for you
again.
again.
Thank you.
So
Here
you
it
can
is.
see it. Courtesy of our CEC TV crew.
Thanks, guys. That was a great pass. That's 2 guards working together. But what I was looking at is Fort Lewis is beating Dixie in every statistical category. Assists, rebounds, everything. Score. I mean, they're really playing a very complete game tonight.
Danny Garrick split a pair of free throws. And here comes Dixie State the other way. Schofield splits 2 defenders. Now backing in on Boatwright, turning and floating with a right hand. A hook shot, couldn't get it to go, it's short. And Fort Lewis the rebound.
Hunter's a little off tonight, just 1 of 4 from the field. Got 3 rebounds, him and Nichols both 3 apiece, but it's a hook shot he's normally going to drain.
Garrick will drive inside and run over Hunter Schofield. They get called for a travel first. And Schofield's going, I just got ran over. Can we call it a foul instead of the travel? Either way, Dixie State gets it back. And he did. Took about 4 steps through there.
But you love little things like that. Schofield not shooting great so far, but not scared to chest up and take that chest high.
Leighton Parker to Pagankoff right wing. Dixie State trailing by 6. 6:35 remaining. Jack gets inside. Fadeaway jumper, no. Dixie State just not able to get to the bucket tonight. Not able to get good looks. They're forcing them up.
No threes. I mean, you haven't hit a 3. A 3-point shot is so important in today's game, and they've only took 3 of them, but haven't hit anything.
24-18, Dixie State trailing by 6. Hokanson will fire a 3 straight away, too strong. Ball tapped, and Leighton Parker chases it down. In transition now, hangs, misses, tip put back, Youngblood, no. And Youngblood was fouled on the tip, on the putback. And the foul will go against Boatwright.
He's got to look at disbelief. He can't believe it. You got no foul there on the tip back. I don't know what the officials saw there, guys. I didn't see a foul. Did you?
No comment.
The left hand grazed Youngblood's jersey.
And everything has to do with an angle, right? I mean, we see one angle, the officials are seeing another, and you see Boatwright trail right there, and there is a little push
there's some
with his left
contact,
hand.
and you can see, and that's a great. You're talking about angles.
Yep.
CEC TV crew cuts to a different angle, and then you can see it.
Yeah, you can see it knocked Andre. No, that wasn't Andre.
Youngblood.
Youngblood, yeah. It knocked him off bounce just enough. And the officials are trying to protect the shooter and protect him. So, he definitely saw that push in 2 angles that we have. Certainly on the other end of the floor here, we couldn't see it.
It splits the pair of free throws. Dixie State 5 of 8 from the free throw line. And it's a 5-point game. 24-19, low scoring game here in the first half. LaRose into the right corner. Cott accelerating to the baseline. Fadeaway jumper, baseline right. Hits the side of the backboard as the shot clock was expiring. Dixie State the rebound.
Really good defensive set there for the Blazers.
Jack Pagankoff, stop and pop from the right elbow in transition, and he buries it. 24-21, Dixie State back to within 3, 5:18 to go.
It starts on defense, right? You get a really good defensive stop. You force a tough baseline, hits the side of the backboard, and then boom, transition, and Jack buries it.
Boatwright, the free throw line, hands out to Hokanson. Hokanson left wing, quick 3 from the left wing, and it's up and in from Corsang.
We talk about Coach Judkins trying to find the right buttons to push. He went to a 2-3 zone. It got a little bit of energy. That was a big shot by Fort Lewis, but that was way deep. You can live with that shot. Look for Dixie to stay in that zone just a little bit longer.
Jack Pagankoff looking for Schofield. Threw it away and into the hands of Fort Lewis, and then a foul on Frank Stain as the Skyhawks move back up the floor.
And only the 5th turnover of the night, which is not terrible, but already 3 for Jack Pagankoff. Trying to make that cross-court skip pass in traffic and just gets deflected and taken away, and then he compounded it with the foul.
You know, you look at this team, Dixie State team, 2 weeks ago, and they went to Alamoso, they went to Durango, and they had the loss to Adams State, and then the big win at Fort Lewis. You saw two different teams on that road trip. Well, this weekend at home, you see
again.
two different teams. It's just flip-flop. You know,
Something about Saturday night.
Saturday nights are tough. You know, these not showing up to play tonight.
And this is a hungry team. I mean, the Skaggs have lost 5 straight. You know, they're playing that spoiler role I kind of mentioned earlier. Got the number 15 team right now down 7. Still a chance for the Blazers, though, to take some momentum into the break. Still a long way to go, guys.
The Rose will make both free throws. It leads back up to 8, 29-21. 4:43 to go until halftime. Wilson had Schofield wide open. Now he tries to pass it to him later in traffic, and it's tipped off of Schofield and out of bounds. Boy, if he'd have just, as soon as he had the ball on the left wing, just got it in, Hunter Schofield was wide open under the bucket.
He was running out at him, though, and maybe he thought couldn't get it high enough and get enough velocity on it to get it there quick enough. I'm not sure. I mean, that's a reaction you got to make quickly if you're going to lob that pass. And he decided not to, and it worked against him.
Boatwright knocks over Hunter Schofield, and the offensive foul is called, and Boatwright can't believe it.
Hunter's really good at taking charge. He just stays there in position, and is he sliding a little bit?
A little bit. It's that forearm. I think the official saw the forearm, and he had the extension, but he was sliding a little bit. Hunter Schofield was trying to beat him to that spot. He did stay square, yep.
Still, I'll go to my grave at the end of the day saying that charge block is such a tough call. I mean, you could have 2 officials say, no, that's a charge, and 2 more great officials say, no, that's a block. It's just, what do you see live that time?
Here's Wilson to the left side, Youngblood. Youngblood gives to Schofield, back out, Pagan-Koff, 10 to shoot. They'll reset. Jack will step up just inside the arc, a jumper short, and the rebound pulled down by Whitman and Fort Lewis.
A little flat again, Mike.
Yep. They're not running their offense. They are not in a good offensive set. They've yet to found something that works. Usually it's the pick and roll, and they're using that on-ball screen. They haven't been able to get that tonight.
They just haven't looked ready from the get-go.
Nope. Saturday night.
Hokanson, three-point land straight away to the left, and Whitman. Whitman will drive to the baseline. Fadeaway jumper, missed it, and Youngblood grabs the rebound. Got to find some buckets here before halftime. Youngblood to Pagan-Koff, left wing. Dribbles to the right, fires a deep 2. The dribble to the right took him inside the arc. He buries the shot. Dixie State within 6, 29-23.
They're trying to claw back. I mean, it's you said it earlier, Devin. It starts on the defensive end. Dixie's still in this 2-3 zone, hoping to find something that'll spark a last first half run.
Right corner 3 on the way and in from McQuill. Cott.
They're just waiting. The race out, the contest was there. He just buried it.
32-23, 9-point Fort Lewis lead with 2:50 to go. Wilson driving inside, and he'll get it to go in traffic with the right hand. 32-25, Dixie State within 7.
And I like how Wilson used his body there to just lean a little bit and then go away from a would-be block. Nice finish there from Wilson.
Hokanson, right wing, holding. Skip pass to the left and Sang. Sang, top of the key to Hokanson. Hokanson will drive inside, bumped by Youngblood, no whistle, fires a jumper, bounces around every bit of the rim, and falls off, and Youngblood wrestles the rebound away from LaRose. Dayson across the timeline, skipping right corner, Frank Stain gets into the paint, whips it inside Dayson Youngblood, and his shot is blocked. But Wilson chases it down, gives to Schofield. Schofield will try a runner, misses off the window. Fort Lewis rebound.
Missed opportunity. You know, that was a point-blank shot right there in the key.
Fort Lewis 3 the other way. No, Dixie State will collapse on the rebound, and a jump ball going to be called as Frank Stain had the ball tied up with Will Whitman. And that will bring us to the under 4 media at the 1:51 mark. Dixie State trailing 32-25. What can the Trailblazers draw up over the final 2 minutes to try and chip away at this lead? 60-second timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
There is a place where looking out means looking in, where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered, where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. there is a place.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this. I need a one dance. And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
.151 to go. Dixie State trailing 32-25. The Trailblazers will have the possession after the jump ball call before the timeout. Dixie State 37% from the field, Fort Lewis 52%. The Trailblazers with 6 turnovers in the first half, but they have forced 10 turnovers. And now they'll try with under 2 minutes to go before the break to try to chip away this lead. Youngblood to Pagan-Koff. And Jack will set up the offense, hand off to Youngblood. Dribbling from right to left. Back to Pagan-Koff, left wing. Now to the free throw line. Hesitates, stops, turnaround jumper, left it short. That's his trademark, but he couldn't get it to go that time. The rebound for Cott and Fort Lewis.
Fort Lewis got to be thinking, hey, bucket and stop, or 2 buckets and 2 stops, and we have a double-digit lead here on the road.
32-25. The Blazers trailing by 7. Skip pass right wing. Here's Whitman. Now to Hokanson. Straight away with 5 to shoot. Here's to Sang with 3 to shoot. To Hokanson. Loses. He's got to fire up a shot. Shot clock violation. He's going to make the 3, but it's going to get waved off. And you could hear the buzzer before Hokanson was able to get that shot out of his hands.
The pressure out on the perimeter was fantastic. And Hokanson still hasn't scored, guys. He's 0 for 3. And that's probably the toughest shot he's taken all night. Just maybe seconds. Yeah, it's still in his hand. Yep. Clearly didn't get it off in time. They don't even need to look at that one. They had it right. Hometown kid would have loved to beat the clock there, but couldn't.
32-25 inside. Schofield has it stripped away, and the Skyhawks have it again. And Frank Stain will get a tip in the left corner, out of bounds. Fort Lewis will maintain possession. 32-25. 40.7 seconds remaining and a timeout taken. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout, so let's keep it right here. Jacob Nichols going to check into the game, and did I see Josh Newbold off the bench as well?
Yeah,
or was
I think
that?
so.
I think you're going to see Newbold and Nichols come into the game for Dixie State with 40.7 seconds remaining.
And right now, I mean, Ferris, 11 points, 5 of 5, hit his only triple, 2 rebounds. He had that block. And then you've got, good production off the bench. Cott's got 3. Miguel's got 2. LaRose has got 4. Boatwright has just 2. It's a low-scoring defensive battle, though. That's what Fort Lewis wants. And, they've cooled off a little bit. They're 12 of 22, 54%. But Dixie State just 10 of 27, 37% right now from the field.
They're just not getting the looks that they're used to getting. And they've missed some. And you look at some of those shots they've missed inside. They're high-quality shots. Just not able to get those to fall. But their offense just has not found a rhythm.
Here's Hokanson with 18 on the shot clock, 32 on the game clock. Taking his time, spring into the offense. Shot clock down to 11 and 10, and now they go with 10 seconds. Hokanson will bounce it inside, and a dunk for Fort Lewis and Brendan LaRose in traffic.
He had that alley-oop. They threw him on the baseline that time. 2-hand monster, and great helper from Hokanson, but that was a dunk with some authority. I know the slam dunk contest going on in the NBA, but that was, respect my leaping ability.
Dixie State the other way. Here's Pagan-Koff with 2 and 1, and he gets it to go at the horn to take some semblance of momentum into the locker room, and Dixie State will trail at 34-27 after 20 minutes of basketball.
Yeah, you really needed that bucket. I think you phrased it perfectly. Take some momentum in. You give up that big dunk, but then you get it right back there. And Juddy's not going to be happy in this break. He's going to be, he's going to be firing them up. He's going to get on that whiteboard, and he's going to have some coaching to do because they just didn't come out ready in this first half, and they look out of sorts. And Fort Lewis has taken them out of their half-court set and really made everything very difficult right now. They got a lot of adjusting to do.
Dixie State trailing by 7, 34-27. But they do get the bucket right before the half. Let's transition right into our Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report. And let's start it off by taking a look at our first half highlights. As Dixie State trailing by 7. Pagenkopf, he's got 12 points in this first half, just 1 assist, but he's getting some scoring done.
Look at it. Make the guys in the truck work to find some highlights that first half. You know,
they got over a minute of highlights here. Yeah. Here's Pagenkopf, the steal, and then the scoop and scoring transition. Stain lob it in. That right there is probably our leading candidate for Catering Concepts play of the game to this point. What a pass from Frank Stain.
I'm giving it to Jack's assist.
There you go.
Gotta be.
See, now I forgot about it.
Record
You missed it.
I missed it. You forgot about
it.
It's up to you, Devin. Carry us.
Yeah, and really good helper there. And Jack right here,
There
baseline, there's the record. Beautiful wraparound, sensational finish by Youngblood.
In fact, we'll just say it. Play of the game right there. Single season assist record. Jack knocking it a deep 2 from the wing, and then another one. And he's, like I said, he scored 12 points, 6 of 11 from the field. And then we'll see how much he can get others involved here in the second half. Andre Wilson laying one up and in. And Jack Pagenkopf right before the break.
Tough shot.
Tough shot, leans in, gets it to go.
I think he wanted the N1 too.
Yeah, he's showing some little bit of emotion right after the play. And Dixie State down by 7 at the half. And honestly, you said that it might be hard for the guys in the truck and gals in the truck to find some highlights. Honestly, I think Dixie State is probably lucky to only be down 7 after that first half.
As bad as they played, I was just looking at the stats thinking, wow, that was just a terrible first half. And they're only down a few possessions.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we're looking at a 7-point lead. They have played absolutely terrible. I mean, they're not getting the points in the paint they want. It's 16 and 16 points in the paint, points off turnovers. Fort Lewis leads 9-4. 0 second chance points for Fort Lewis, only 2 for Dixie. But the fast break points, Devin, only 4 fast break points for Dixie State. When was the last time you saw a Dixie State team come into the half with only 4 fast break points?
And only 3 assists.
Yeah.
And really, here's the thing. I mean, I know you adjusted the starting lineup for senior night, but you're not getting any production from your bench. And I know you tinkered with that starting lineup a little bit, but still, 2 bench points, that's got to improve if you're going to win this game. You can't rely entirely on the starting lineup because you did have a few of your normal starters out there. I mean, Jack was out there, Hunter's out there, Dason was out there, so that's a little bit disappointing. And I know Green's out, and they're kind of missing Green tonight, guys.
Because they could use another big body in there, just something, a little different feel.
He's the thickest of the bigs for Dixie State, and Boatwright is big. LaRose can fly, and this is a team that's really, really talented. And they do it with kind of that fierce physicality, and Green is missed, I felt like, in that first half.
Absolutely. Jared Green not able to suit up and go tonight. The Trailblazers led by Pagenkopf with 12 points. Youngblood has 5. Andre Wilson with 4. 2 points each for Nichols, Schofield, and Cameron Chatwin. This is the Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report. Trailblazers again just 37% from the field. 0 for 3 from downtown, so no 3-point shots for Dixie State. So that's one other thing that you look at as well. You look at Dixie State 0 for 3 from downtown. Fort Lewis, on the other hand, has hit 5 threes, so that's a 15-point difference right there, and yet it's only a 7-point game at the half. Could be a lot worse, and now it's up to the guys, to listen to this halftime message and to be able to step up and make some changes and to come out with some momentum in the second half, because the coaches can go in and coach as much as they want. It's up to these guys to go in, to buy into that, and make those adjustments out on the floor.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Fort Lewis they're going to come out fired up too. You saw Coach Petrak walk off the floor. He was hot. Felt like there were a lot of calls that didn't go his way, his team's way, and he's going to get his team fired up. They're going to come out ready to go. But Coach Judkins, I mean, he's going to make some adjustments. This time that he's got in the locker room with his players right now is going to be valuable. He's going to make the right adjustments. His guys are going to come out fired up.
Dixie State trailing 34-27 at the half. It is the Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report, and let's do this. Let's step away. We'll take the full 5-minute timeout. We come back. We'll give you some scores from around the RMAC, and then we'll give you some keys to the second half. Let you know, what does Dixie State need to do in the second half, and more than just play better. We won't just give you the Captain Obvious answer. We'll give you some keys to the second half. What does Dixie State need to do to come back and win this ball game to get win number 21? 5-minute timeout and back with the remainder of our Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
We may have started out small, we were great. Families and fans rallied behind their team. The community cared, and everyone showed up to cheer. Now, we're bigger than ever. Dixie State is going to Division I.
Here we go in transition, and he throws it down with one hand. Lobs. Catch me.
But at the end of the day, it's the community and fans that make us great. Whether you give $5 or 1,000, every dollar, every seat in the stands, every one of you can help blaze our trail to Division I athletics. Because this is our team.
You know, we've been brainstorming for new ideas on Trailblazer Weekly, and we thought, why don't we try to get some more well-known personalities on the show? And then we thought, who better than Brooks the Bison? He would be a fantastic guest host.
Okay, Brooks, in 5, 4, 3.
Obviously, being a co-host didn't work out the way we planned. So we thought we can throw him in the control room and he can help run the show. But he's got hooves instead of hands, so he couldn't exactly push the buttons or control the dials that he needed to. And as you can imagine, we had a terrible show that week. I mean, nothing was right. We were coming from breaks when we didn't even realize we were live. It just didn't work out.
So we kept thinking about it, and finally, light bulb. He can't mess up being a camera operator, right? Wrong. He couldn't wear the headset, which means he couldn't hear the director. Brooks actually doesn't know right from left, believe it or not. And he spent more time taking selfies and posting to social media than running his camera. I mean, who knew that Brooks the Bison had his own Instagram?
We decided that Brooks was better off in his natural habitat where he belongs.
Trailblazer Weekly, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on CEC TV, Radio Dixie 91.3 FM, and Dixie State Athletics YouTube page.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Radio Dixie 91.3, Young the Giant, something to believe in.
John, what song do you want to hear?
Next, Miss Calendris. You'll be on the SWAT team, the vice SWAT team. Did a fantastic situation.
I was going to talk to you last time.
Be with us today. We'll be for seconds.
Hey guys, how are you today? Good. I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I groomed the Halo world to life. Is that you? That is me. I wasn't a math genius and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things. I want your job. I want you to have my job.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Dixie. Blazers able to force over 10 turnovers, 11 turnovers in the first half, and to turn that into a few points and at least take some semblance of momentum into the locker room. Before the break, we said we wanted to come back with some keys to the second half. What are you looking at right now in terms of adjustments that Dixie State will be able to make easily to come out and fight back into this game and hopefully retake the lead?
Well, there was a couple possessions early, and then it kind of kept going where they just didn't crash the offensive glass. I mean, only 4 offensive rebounds for the Trailblazers. That was something that we talked about in our keys to the entire game. They still got time to fix that, but they got to crash the offensive glass every single time, and not just one guy. They got to have 2 or 3 crashing the glass. They had too many one-and-done trips in that first half, and then I thought they tried to value the basketball, but still some turnovers. Only 7, but what'd you have, 3 in the first half last night? So, I mean, still, you know, 7's not an unusually large number, but you forced Fort Lewis into 11, so not as much to draw out of that. Their post defense, I mean, they allowed the bigs to get good touches, and they got to dig. They got to dig in and be a little bit more physical, which is tough the way that the officiating called that on both sides. They called some tight fouls on both sides. So as a big, I mean, it's hard to body up, or you're going to be sitting on the bench and foul out of this basketball game. And, you know, they're defending the three-point line. There was some rush outs, and they hit some deep threes, but they still could do a better job in that area as well, in my opinion, Carrick. Those are a couple of things.
Yeah.
And we saw when they defended for all 30 seconds and Hokinson didn't get the shot off, you know, late in that half. They need more possessions like that where they defend for all 30 seconds. And the tempo, they didn't really control the tempo. They tried to get out and run a couple times. We saw Jack with a coast-to-coast. We saw some delayed transition runs, but I still think Dixie State could do a better job controlling the tempo. Those are a few things that I think Juddy was preaching at the break.
Yeah, and I'm looking to see, and we mentioned this before the break too, but, you know, Jack Pagenkopf has come in here and he's scored 12 points tonight, and it's a good thing he has, where Dixie State would be down by double digits right now.
Right.
But, you know, Hunter Schofield only with 2 points right now. So I'm looking for ways early to see Jack Pagenkopf get guys like Hunter Schofield involved in the offense. You know, Hunter Schofield with just 2 points at the halftime break is not enough. And, you know, it's that tough post play. It's a battle down low. Another thing to keep an eye on for Fort Lewis, I mean, you want to mention Dixie State being fortunate they're only down by 7. However, Fort Lewis is looking at it on the flip side saying, hey, we're up by 7. Meanwhile, Riley Ferris only played 10 minutes in the first half because he was saddled with some foul trouble. They didn't want him to pick up the 3rd foul. So now you're going to see a full-strength Fort Lewis squad come back out onto the floor with Riley Ferris out there as well. So that's another storyline, something to keep your eye on as we begin the second half.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ferris, you know, 5 for 5 from the field, 11 points. I mean, in limited time. You know, so that's scary. That's a little bit scary. So, again, I go back to defending for all 30 seconds and being more physical in the post, which is a little tough to do with the tight way they're officiating this game.
Yeah, there's going to be some adjustments. I can't wait to see which coach has made that game-winning adjustment in the halftime that's going to be the difference in this second half.
Well, and so many times, Carrick, Mike, you know, I always ask Juddy, what's that secret sauce you did in the halftime? Because they'll come out with their hair on fire and win that first 4-minute battle, and then we've seen this team come back at home time and time again. So it's not panic mode right now, but Juddy has to get his team focused, because I thought there was a lack of focus in that first half.
Yeah, lack of drive. There was a lack of a lot of things that I think he'll correct at halftime, and then it's up to the 5 guys on the floor and the guys on the bench. I mean, they've got to execute. They've got to have that drive inside of them to come out and win this, because I promise you, Fort Lewis is not going to lay down. I mean, they've tasted it, and they would love to leave here with a win.
Well, we'll just give you one score around the RMAC. Chadron State looks like took Black Hill State down to the wire. Boy, we would have loved Chadron to steal that one in Spearfish. 93-87 Black Hill State getting the win over Chadron State. So if you're Dixie State, you've got to win tonight. You got to keep pace. You can't afford to drop this one on senior night at home. So we'll see what they can draw up.
Only 3 games after tonight, and you own the tiebreaker with Black Hill State. So this is an absolute must-win.
And Black Hill State still has to go to Colorado School of Mines, who has been playing very well as of late. So if you're Dixie State, you cannot afford to lose this game tonight. 34-27. It'll be Fort Lewis with possession as we enter back into play, and both teams go back to the original starters. Hokanson loses the dribble, and it's knocked out of his hands on the first play of the second half. Fort Lewis will maintain possession. Maybe a little knee-to-knee contact with Frank Stain and Hokanson there.
Yeah, or else it kind of gave a little bit, a little awkward. Yeah, because Hokanson
He's kind of
came
reaching
up grabbing
for it.
Yeah.
34-27. Hokanson, cross-court pass to the left, now gets it right back. Right side, holding with 17 to shoot. Hokanson to Sang. Sang to Riley Ferris. Mismatch, guarded by Youngblood. He'll throw up a shot and he's fouled. And free throws coming for Riley Ferris on the foul from Dason Youngblood, his first.
Yeah, Ferris, you know, what a solid big in this conference. You know, I don't know. You know, I haven't seen every big live, but in limited time in the first half, I was very impressed with Ferris.
First free throw up and in for Riley Ferris. And like we mentioned, only played 10 minutes in the first half.
Good little post footwork, though. You see I went to that little spin move and earned a trip to the stripe.
Second free throw on the way. Missed it. Rattled out. And an 8-point Fort Lewis lead, 35-27. Dixie State, first offensive possession of the second half. Frank Stain, catch and shoot, three-pointer, left corner, and it's up and in on a great pass from Dason Youngblood.
And that could be the spark. You know, you get a little bit more energy on the bench. You can see guys flying around on defense. Hopefully that's what they need.
Fort Lewis going the other way into the left corner. It's Garrick. Top of the key now, Whitman. Whitman to Sang. Driving inside, loses it off of his own knee, out of bounds. Dixie State gets it back. And Will Whitman kind of looking at his guys like his teammates saying, calm down, we're okay. We're still the ones winning this game. You kind of can feel, you know, the momentum. Some winds of change in the air inside the Burns Arena.
Well, you know Juddy really challenged him at the break.
Youngblood to Schofield, left wing. Hunter with just 2 points so far, finding Jack Pagankoff. Jack to the free throw line, dishes inside. Schofield will drive it, reverse it, score it. That's what we called for at the half. Pagankoff to Schofield, and it works there. Dixie State within 3.
Ball movement, side to side. That time the ball went back and forth a few times. Dixie State, that's one thing Coach Judkins hit on is ball movement, and they've responded.
Ferris, fadeaway jumper the other way, missed it. And a rebound to Dason Youngblood. Youngblood in transition. Leaving with Pagankoff. Jack accelerating, baseline right. Dribbles under the basket. Now he's on the left side, crossing over back into the lane. Wrap around pass to Schofield. He missed it. Dixie State wants a foul. No whistle coming. And here come the Skyhawks.
Jack had that ball as long as he could. I mean, he had that ball for 8-10 seconds of that possession. Got the right pass. Just nice contest up high for the stop by the Skyhawks.
Here's Hokanson. To Garrick. Deep three straight away. He sinks it. That's an NBA 3 range, and he buries it, and it's a 6-point game again.
Dixie State still in that 2-3 zone, and Fort Lewis finding that sweet spot between the guards, caught them miscommunicating, and that shot was wide open at the top.
And a game-high 6 assists for Hokanson.
Here's Pagankoff, right wing. 13 to shoot. Slicing and dicing into the paint. Now to Schofield, free throw line. Jumper on the way up and in. Great to see. Schofield gets a couple of field goals to drop here in the early second half, and Dixie State within 4.
Captain Midrange is back. You know, hopefully he can knock down a few more of those.
3 for 8 now for Hunter.
38-34. They'll lob into Ferris. One-on-one with Schofield. Missed it. And the rebound into the hands of Frank Stain. Stain wants to push it. Accelerating. Free throw line. Off the window and in and one. Logan Hokanson called for the foul as Frank Stain gets it to go in transition. The bucket and the foul.
Well, and Logan's giving ground. He knows he's at a huge size disadvantage there. And, you know, Frank just was the aggressor and just overpowered him there.
That's a great way to explain it. He kept his balance. Frank Stain was able to absorb that contact and still get to the front of the rim. And, there's 2 fast break points. You're going to see Dixie State really push the ball. They want to run. They're not very excited about that first half and their ability to run. So second half, hopefully that fast break points improve.
He misses the free throw, leaves it short. Fort Lewis the rebound and going the other way. 38-36, Dixie State within 2, 16:50 remaining. Dixie State on defense. And Nichols gonna block a three-pointer, pass ahead to Pagankoff. Jack in transition, throws it down with one hand. Jack Pagankoff, the dunk on senior night. And we are tied at 38.
Well, what a great block by Jacob Nichols. This stays inbounds, flips it Jack. Jack checks the rear view mirror and then accelerates on the gas pedal with the one-hand jam. Oh my.
Can that be the play of the game, or can we share it at least? I know the other one's a record setter. Play of the second half. It's going to go to a full timeout. Dixie State and Fort Lewis tied at 38, 16:31 to go. Let's take a 30-second timeout, just a 30. Come right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
I got you right where I want you. If I make this one, it's over. I win.
No pressure. Bring it.
We may not always play good, but when we want to look good, we come to the Dixie State campus store.
Located on the second floor of the Gardner Center. We'll see you there.
.31 to go. Dixie State tied at 38 after Jacob Nichols getting a steal, blocking a three-point shot from Sang, tiptoes the sideline, back to Jack Pagankoff, make sure he's got room, and he throws it down with one hand. And we are tied at 38. Dixie State has not led in this game, and this is actually the first tie of the night. So Dixie State, all the momentum, a 6-0 run over the last 122. The Trailblazers 6 of their last 7 from the field. The momentum has swung.
Not only the momentum swung, it's the pace of the game has changed. Fort Lewis was content. We talked about how all those dead balls and reviewing by the officials, it really slowed the pace down.
Right.
And Coach Judkins said, hey, put it on the accelerator and let's go. And when they go, the crowd goes, and they just feed off of each other. So that's the key now, is just going to be out and run.
Loudest I've heard the Burns Arena all season, I felt like there, guys.
Here's Hokanson. Whipping it to the right side. Tip, nearly a steal, but it does get into the hands of Whitman. Back to Hokanson. Lob it into the corner. Riley Ferris. Catch and shoot three. Right corner short. And a tip put back by Danny Garrick is good. I thought he left the ground too early, but he's able to tap it in. 40-38. Fort Lewis a 2-point lead. Stain. Leaving for Nichols. Nichols to Youngblood. And a whistle and a timeout.
We got some blood on a player for Fort Lewis. I don't know whose blood it is. I don't think. They got to figure that
blood
out.
on the jersey or whatever. We got media timeout, 15:54. Dixie State trailing 40-38. We'll take a 1-minute timeout and come back to the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
For over a century, Dixie State University has been shaping the trailblazers of tomorrow by providing a culture of active learning, active life. With a paradigm of real-world experience mixed with cutting-edge technologies and rich traditions, we provide one of the most affordable educations in the West, set against the most stunning backdrop on the planet.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Dixie State trailing it by 2, 40-38, 15:54 to go. Dixie State with the possession. They're able to get the blood cleaned up. And we are back after the media timeout, ready to rock and roll.
And whatever halftime speech Coach Judkins came up with tonight, it seems to be really effective so far at the start of the second half.
Youngblood to Stain, inside Schofield, one dribble. We'll bounce it back to Stain. And Stain to Youngblood left corner. They'll whip it back to Pagankoff, 5 to shoot. Jack off a screen to the right with 3 to shoot. Step back, 3. Bang! Right in the face of Danny Garrick. He did it again. The crossover, step back 3 from the right wing. Dixie State its first lead of the night at 41-40.
14 for Jack. We saw him do that a couple weeks ago when he single-handedly won the game at 8 points in the final minute. He was patient. He never panicked. Buried it.
Ferris to answer, knocks in a left wing 3, and it's a 42-41 Fort Lewis lead.
Can't go underneath there.
And you can't leave the ball. You know, the ball was right there in his hands. Jacob Nichols decided to rotate and leave, and you just can't leave the ball.
Ferris is
Pagankoff, another 3 from the right wing, and he splashes it home. He's got 20. And Dixie State on top, 44-42.
He's not the guy if you're Fort Lewis to want to get going, especially on senior night.
Yeah, I love what I saw. He was telling his defense to talk on this possession.
Ferris to answer, left wing, missed the 3. Facing Youngblood the rebound. Youngblood will bounce it to Jack Pagankoff. Jack will scoop, and he can't score. Went reverse from right to left, missed it. He's going to get a tip, and Dixie State gets a steal, though. Stain no-look pass inside to Schofield, and he'll score. Here we go.
This is the Dixie State team that we've been waiting for. This is the energy. This is the excitement. This is the #1 team in the RMAC that's doing what they do best and run and get out in open transition.
Dixie State a 46-43 lead, 14:09 remaining in half number 2. Garrick into the left corner, Whitman. Pump fake, drives in on Nichols. Good pass inside, he'll leave it for Ferris, and he can't finish with the contact. A whistle and a foul, he'll get free throws. Youngblood will pick up the foul.
19-7 run here to start the second half for Coach Judkins and the Blazers. And Ferris single-handedly right now trying to kind of keep his team in it and kind of try to quiet this crowd, because all of a sudden the excitement level in the arena went through the roof.
And Ferris will miss the first free throw.
And you got that distraction, that student body down there. New tonight, the pickle. Didn't see that last night, Mike.
I saw Britney Spears' appearance. Students bringing their military appreciation green shirts tonight.
Yep, left the diapers at home.
Second free throw on the way, bounces around, he missed them both. Student section doing its job. Dixie State a 3-point lead. Will we continue to see the snowball effect here with what Dixie State is building here in the second half? Wilson to Stain. Stain to Nichols for 3, left wing. Yes, sir! Trailblazers lead it by 6, 49-43.
And what you were talking about earlier, Mike, they're moving the ball now. 6-7 passes there, and you get an open shot. And Jacob Nichols says, thank you very much.
13:25 to go, second half. Dixie State a game-high 6-point lead. There's Whitman to Ferris. Ferris guarded by Nichols. He'll fire it up and score with a right hand.
Wow, he is 7 for 11 from the floor tonight, 17 points. Tall order to defend him. That wasn't bad defense.
No. Dixie State the other way with a 49-45 lead. Pagankoff. Step back, free throw line jumper, too strong. And Whitman the rebound for Fort Lewis.
Well, Fort Lewis has done a great job tonight, guys, controlling Dixie's runs. I mean, as soon as Dixie makes a big play, they found a way to answer it.
Here's Hokinson, holding left wing. Hokinson driving inside, and he traveled. And they call it. It was a late whistle. He went up and came down and 1,000, 2,000, and then the whistle.
And Hokinson got stuck. He just got stuck down there and kind of drug it and took that extra step. An easy call, late call, but the right call. As Chatwin was kind of giving ground, the double team, and you know, Logan's only about 5'10".
Pagankoff, he's for Wilson. Top of the key, he'll drive inside and shoot it over Hokanson. Missed it. Boatwright will grab the rebound for the Skyhawks. The Dixie State lead is just 4, 49-45. 12-10 remaining second half. Here's LaRose. LaRose inside Boatwright. Guarded by Paganikoff, mismatch, and he scores.
Again, they just find a way. You know, it's either a point in the key or a timely three-pointer. Fort Lewis just finding a way to get it done.
Here's Chatwin. Top of the key to Paganikoff. Paganikoff crossing over to the left. Will bounce to Nichols. Nichols to Wilson. Got a Chatwin. 3, right wing. No, it's short. And the rebound to Cott.
Confident shot there from Cameron Chatwin. Looked right on line, just left it a little bit short. He's certainly capable of knocking that down, just not that time.
Here's Boatwright. Boatwright handing off to Hokanson. Hokanson will give to Boatwright, 15 feet from the bucket, left side. Cross-court pass into the right corner. Cott fires up a 3. Missed it. Offensive rebound and the putback for Will Whitman.
Yeah, Whitman, right place, right time. First field goal of the night for him. He was 0 of 4 in the first half.
And we are tied at 49.
Actually,
6-0 run for Fort Lewis.
Let me make a correction. Second bucket for him in the second half.
Paganikoff splits 3 defenders and lays it up and in with the right hand off the window. 51-49.
And now Jack, 22
22
tonight?
points.
Woo.
One more bucket, new career high for Jack Paganikoff. Career high is 23.
Well, he's hot right now. I'd
Yeah,
keep running the offense through him and let him shoot it when he feels it.
Here's Hokanson. 10:27 to go. Here's Cott, 4 to shoot, 3 to shoot, step back, free throw line jumper, yes.
Oh, baby.
I mean, what are you going to do about that one?
Nothing.
You can't do anything about that one.
He did everything he could.
It's a good shot.
Yep.
Let's go play offense now.
Time was winding down on that shot clock, too.
Offensive foul the other end of the floor as Paganikoff was driving inside. And it'll be Cameron Chatwin gets called for the legal screen, and that'll take us to the under 12 media. 10:09 to go. Dixie State and Fort Lewis knotted at 51. Don't go anywhere because we have got a classic down the stretch here. 60-second timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. .10:09 to go. Dixie State and Fort Lewis tied at 51. And the Trailblazers had built a 6-point lead, and it kind of felt like, okay, here we go. But then Fort Lewis fought back. And you said during the halftime break, Mike, that Fort Lewis isn't going to come in here and just roll over.
No.
I mean, a win like this, can really make a season for this team.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you one other thing that's going to go into play here, I think the second half, is how much does Jack Paganikoff have in the tank. You saw right before that timeout, he was winded. Walking back to the timeout or to the bench, he just looked tired. With 10 minutes to go, they're going to need to get him at least one little break here. He's got the energy, he's got the motor to do it. But man, he's doing a lot tonight.
Making him work deep into the shot clock again.
And an offensive foul the Fort Lewis way. Same call that just went against Cameron Chatwin goes against Boatwright, and that's his 4th foul.
Well, we talked about the half, defending the three-point line, the post defense, and defending for all 30 seconds on the shot clock. Yeah. And the first half, they didn't do a good job of that. The second half, you look at the time on the shot clock, every possession Fort Lewis is under 10 or even under 5. Yeah. And even though they're making some miraculous shots and we're still tied, Dixie State has improved in that area tremendously.
Here's Paganikoff across the timeline. Again, tied at 51, 9:40 remaining. Parker to Schofield, trying to bounce a pass into Chatwin. Had the lane there, but it closed quickly, and Ferris kicked the ball. Shot clock back out to 20. 9:36 on the game clock. Danny Garrick will check in for Fort Lewis. Parker lobbing it to Schofield. Great seal by Schofield, and he catches and scores. And Hunter Schofield with 8 points tonight.
Now you got now 10 for
Make it
Hunter.
10.
Yeah, second Dixie State player into double figures. Obviously, Jack leading the way with 22.
And a three-pointer the other way for Will Whitman. And Fort Lewis back up on top, 54-53. Dixie State quickly the other way, and Chatwin will lay it up and in. Back and forth we go.
Real good hot potato pass from Leighton Parker. I mean, he didn't touch it, and it was out of his hand right there to Chatwin. Easy bucket.
And Coach Petrak is incensed. He calls a timeout immediately, and he is letting his guys have it after Dixie State was able to get back up the floor so easily.
Yeah, it's kind of a role reversal. Juddy was fired up in the first half, really frustrated, and now Fort Lewis getting frustrated. Coaching staff needing to talk things over. It's still a one-point game, and he's trying to re-energize his guys, showing them he cares, and really lighten them up a little bit.
Yeah, and this is where Dixie takes advantage of that, right? I mean, they've got that momentum. You can see their composure's there, and this is what you love to see. You've got to get Jack Paganikoff, some of these starters, some rest without having to go and miss game time. So that's exactly what this is doing. This is going to help Dixie, and hopefully this next 4-minute run, they can just put the foot on the accelerator and keep it going.
9:02 to go. Dixie State a 1-point lead, 55-54. We had a ton of alumni in the house last night. We got some here again tonight. I think it's Marcus Bradley sitting over there.
Yeah, they're all playing in that Nets on Fire tournament. There's a tournament here locally, and a lot of former players here. Kind of fun to see them on a President's Day weekend. First half, Trailblazers really didn't put on a show, but they are in the second half.
Ferris inside will scoop and score. And a one. So Fort Lewis leads it 56-55, and Riley Ferris at the line for one free throw.
Well, that timeout worked great for Coach Petrak. We drew something up and had it teed up and knew exactly who he was going to go to. Go to the guy that's been getting him the points throughout the year.
Ferris, I don't know, maybe had a contact knocked out after the play, and he gets that back in and situated.
And you got the Trailblazer mascot there, the distractor in the background.
And Ferris will miss the free throw. I don't know if that was as much as the distraction as the contact maybe coming out on that one, but we'll take it. 56-55. Schofield catch and shoot deep to left side. It's in, and he's in a rhythm now. He's feeling it.
Mid-range jumper.
Yeah, good to see him going.
Does that constitute a mid-range? 1 foot over the three-point line?
Yep.
It's a 2-point shot.
It's 2 points.
Today's game, they've really stretched the shooting range, haven't they?
That's right, absolutely.
57-56. Of course, next year, three-point line will be farther out here in the Burns. Fort Lewis, three straight away, and an offensive foul before the shot was released.
Another one on Ferris.
Against Ferris, and that is number 3 against Riley Ferris.
Tough shot right into the lips there for Hunter Schofield. He took that one right in the chops.
And not much of complaining there from Ferris. He knew he extended the arm there, and he just turns and walks down the court.
Yeah. And he's still on the floor, or is he coming off? No, he's still on the floor. If you're Dixie State here, maybe you're looking to
go at him.
On this possession. He's got 3 fouls. Here's Chatwin to the left side. Leighton Parker leaves it back for Chatwin. Chatwin to Youngblood. Youngblood to Hunter Schofield. Schofield to Parker. Crossing over left, now to Hunter. Hunter will drive inside, reverse scoop and score from left to right. And Hunter Schofield has come alive.
Yeah, it just shows his versatility, right? I mean, he stepped out, he hit that near three-pointer, and then he takes it off the dribble with the underarm lay-in. A beautiful move there by Hunter Schofield.
Dixie State by 3, 59-56. Ferris working on Youngblood, will spin, shoot over the top, missed it. But Will Whitman is there to tip it back in and score it.
And Whitman's got 9 all coming. He was 0
I think
for
they're all
4.
I think they're all putbacks.
Yeah. Well, 1-3.
1-3, and then a bunch of putbacks. Chatwin has it stripped out of his hands and out of bounds, and that'll bring us to the under 8 media. Dixie State at 59, Fort Lewis 58. This one's going to come down to the wire. Strap on your seatbelts because we're going to have a bumpy ride down the stretch. 1 minute timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Hi, I'm Smokey Cole Bear, filling in because for 75 years, Smokey only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
Meanwhile, the song was wrong. We did start the fire. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Play Eric Amarola's Race Day Mix.
I have a backpack.
请所有的同学回到座位哈。3。
Get our print career. And there's the bottom.
Does this one have more water?
Can you tell me why? Careful.
$7:19 to go. Dixie State a 59-58 lead. We've got a bunch of lead changes here in the last couple of minutes. And now Dixie State leading by 1. Brooks the Bison out on the floor, getting this crowd fired up.
This is a big game.
I mean, this crowd's gonna be the 6th man tonight. That may come, it may be one of the main differences, main significant things down the stretch. Can this crowd get into it, stay into it?
We need
to
them.
help the Trailblazers.
So much at stake here tonight.
Here's Wilson. He got quiet. Got too quiet there after the timeout. Boom. Schofield will catch and score right side. He's got 16. And Dixie State lead is 3. 61-58. 7:04 to go. Now you need to add some stops here. Hokanson will drive inside. Layup high off the window. No. Tipped around. Schofield with the rebound. Gives to Youngblood. Dayson in transition. Pass to the left corner. Stain. Catch and shoot 3. No. Too strong. Jacob Nichols. Offensive rebound. How did he get that? In between 2 blue jerseys. What a rebound. Trailblazers reset. Youngblood, left elbow jumper, no. And this time, the Skyhawks grab the rebound. It's Corey Sang.
Good looking shot there. That's a shot that can fall. You love Jason Youngblood's decision there.
6:28 remaining. Hokanson to the right corner. Sang fires a 3. Yes, we're tied at 61. 6:21 to go.
And Hokanson's not scoring tonight, but he's sure distributing. I mean, he's 0 for 4 from the field, but 7 assists now. That's a game high, and he got to the middle of the floor. Got to the middle of the floor and then just kicked to the corner and made the defense pay.
Here's Schofield. With the game tied at 61. Nichols to Andre Wilson. Wilson to Youngblood. Youngblood to Schofield. Schofield will drive inside, pushed it just a little strong on the layup, and he went over the top of the basket. Fort Lewis the rebound. 61-61. Fort Lewis an opportunity to retake the lead.
And they're not in a hurry, guys. They're taking a lot more time on these possessions second half.
And that's the tempo they want.
Yeah.
Ferris to Hokanson at the free throw line. Hesitates, step back, fadeaway jumper deep 2. Missed everything. And it goes out of bounds, but Frank Stain's going to get called for the foul. Pushing off on Corey Sang. And it is the right call.
That's not a smart play.
What happened first? The shot clock violation or the foul?
That's a good question.
Is the question.
Frank Stain's asking
and the referee, Coach Judkins asked the same question. Referee said it was before. And then that's
they're fighting
3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's before.
They're fighting there, and sometimes when you fight and then you go chase the ball down, that fighting kind of continued on, and Frank kind of leaned that shoulder in. That is the right call, fellas.
Yeah. Another question was, did the ball go out of bounds before the foul occurred? Either way. Fort Lewis has it back. Hokanson, right wing, will drive inside. A rainbow shot up and over the top. of Jacob Nichols, and it goes in, his first field goal of the night, and a 2-point Fort Lewis lead, 63-61.
Beautiful high arcing touch shot. Bringing the rain.
Yeah,
Paganikoff is then going to get called for an offensive foul. You're going to say he hooked Hokinson.
Well, the momentum is up in the air for grabs right now, and you know he doesn't hook him and secure him, but he did have that arm backside.
You know, moving with him. Otherwise, the arm would have grazed and fallen off. But it stands as called. 63-61, Dixie State trailing by 2, 4:50 to go, entering the critical stages of the ball game. LaRose to the left side, and Whitman swinging to Hokinson. Hokinson right corner, LaRose inside Ferris. Ferris fadeaway jumper, short, rims out, offensive putback, no. And a late foul gonna ring out. And here come the Boo Birds.
A little late on the whistle.
Jacob Nichols gonna get called for foul.
Does he push him from the backside there? Does he do anything? Not much, guys. I mean, he's just trying to get out of the way. Just trying to kind of run the other way. That's not a great call at all. And the fans are letting the officials know it.
Wow.
You see that more and more where they wait to see if it goes in or not. Yeah. And I almost felt like, oh, it didn't go in. There might have been contact, but there wasn't.
And he'll miss the front end. No, it's not going to be a 1-and-1 because it was technically a tip.
Yeah, he's trying to shoot it there, but I mean, that's
a lot of that could be how he fell. You know, I mean,
that's a tough call. But as I said, sometimes the ball don't lie.
Missed the first free throw. He'll have one more. Sang gets the second one. 3-point Fort Lewis lead with 4:30 remaining. And now a whistle and a foul against Fort Lewis.
And now Juddy's disappointed. Yeah. He's not happy. I mean,
the Dixie State coaches weren't happy that it was a shooting foul.
Yeah.
Well, there wasn't a foul, period.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
Yeah.
And I've said it the other way too. I'm not hometowning that call.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's been some other ones I disagreed with that went against Fort Lewis earlier, especially in that first half.
Call it how we see it, both ways. 64-61, Dixie State down by 3. Shot clock down to 10. Here's Paganikoff. 3-point land straight away. Will step back, fire a 3 straight away. No, too strong. Tipped out. Dixie State's got it back. Here's Youngblood kicking to Wilson. Bouncing inside Schofield. Double teamed on the baseline, and he dribbled off his knee and out of bounds. That'll bring us to the under 4 media.
Yeah, Hunter just didn't try to go quick move baseline, but the double team was down there. He really didn't have room. Probably should have kicked it back out to Andre and kind of reset, because Dason kind of realized he got into traffic in the middle. The kick to the corner was good, but
yeah,
another empty possession.
Well, we talked about the first half. They were going one-on-one. There was no double team. This half, that's one adjustment Fort Lewis has made, especially with the half that Hunter Schofield is having. He's demanding 2 guys. They're saying, we want to see you throw out of the post. Let's see how you can pass outside of the post. That time Hunter Schofield trying to beat him off the dribble. It's tough to beat a dribble or beat a double team with the dribble in the post. That's just tough.
Let's keep it right here through the timeout. Timeouts are brought to you by Dairy Queen. One thing we want to do too with the game winding down, and we want to name our SkyWest Airlines player of the game. And Jack Paganikoff was a runaway for it early. He's got 22 points, 10 of 18 from the field, 3 assists, a rebound, a steal. But Hunter Schofield coming on strong as well. 16 points, 8 of 14 from the field, 5 rebounds, a block for Hunter Schofield as well. And you maybe split it between the two on senior night.
Somebody's going to hit a big shot.
Yeah, somebody has to.
I think the player of the game is yet to be determined, because it's going to be that guy who in the next 3 minutes and 57 seconds comes out and wins this game. You're not going to wait for anybody to do it, but just come out and take it from Fort Lewis, because right now they want it. A 3-point lead, 3:57. This is a heavyweight fight, guys. It is going to come down to who has the heaviest hands, because they're both throwing punches.
It could come down to the 3-point shot. I know a lot of these two teams have been gobbling up points in the paint, but 4 out of 8. Fort Lewis shot the 3 well in the second half, and Dixie State finally getting it going from deep range. They're 4 for 7 in the second half. And in a one-possession game, I mean, you can take momentum, back-to-back threes and a stop on defense, and it can change the complexion of the final couple minutes of a game.
Back in play we go. Dixie State showing full court pressure on the inbounds pass. Now they'll back it up a little bit. 3:53 to go. Dixie State trailing by 3, 64-61. Credit Fort Lewis. They have not backed down from playing one of the RMAC leaders here in St. George. Lob inside. Ferris is open, and he's fouled at the bucket.
And really, this run the other way, Fort Lewis getting going, was about when their coach got after him a little bit. Kind of took that time out, lit him up a little bit, and then they started kind of digging back in. Kind of a little bit of a wake-up call there after Dixie State really opened up this half on a 19-7 run and had kind of regained all the momentum.
Yeah. Ferris to the free throw line where he's just 1 of 5 today. Makes the first. Of course, now that I said that, he'll probably make both.
Now, this game reminds me a lot of the Colorado School of Mines game where Dixie they got the lead for a little bit, but they just could not sustain it. And yet, down 4 with 3 minutes to go, plenty of time, but they just have not been able to get over that hump.
Well, and Jack Pagenkoff hasn't scored since that step back 3, and it's been 5-6 minutes of game time since Jack scored. He's been stuck on 22 points for some time. I think he needs to, find a mid-range J or something.
Dixie's scoreless the last 3 minutes and 31 seconds.
Gut check time here, guys. This is where legends are born. Dixie State trailing by 5, and a foul away from the ball will go against Will Whitman. And that's team foul number 5 against Fort Lewis. Not quite in the bonus yet. Skyhawks will have one more foul to give. Pagenkoff the trigger baseline right. We'll bounce it into Youngblood. Youngblood spinning around, floating and scoring. 66-63. Dixie State within 3.
That's a big bucket.
3:20 remaining.
And great entry, design inbounds play. Now this crowd needs to get on their feet, make some noise for a defensive stop.
Hokanson to the left side. And Whitman. Whitman with 10 to shoot. And off to Hokanson. Hokanson will drive inside. It's stolen away by Jack Pagenkoff. Pagenkoff in transition. Goes up and scores it and one in contact, in transition. With contact.
There's Jack right when we needed him, guys.
Yep, that's it.
You get to assist on the inbounds pass. Then they get a huge steal by Jack Pagenkoff. And then Jack Pagenkoff gonna hang in the air for seems like forever and then get it to go. And this crowd erupts once again.
Yeah,
career high. 24 points for Pagenkoff, trying to make it 25. The steal, the boot.
He elevated like he wanted to dunk.
Yeah, he was going right at the most athletic player on Fort Lewis's team. He was going right at him. Nothing was stopping him from getting to the rim.
He makes the free throw, and we are tied at 66. 2:50 remaining.
This is it. I mean, it's defense. You get, I was just going to say you get 3 stops, and look up, Coach Judkins has got 3 fingers up. That's exactly what that means. He wants 3 straight stops.
And as a player, you love playing in a game like this. I know it exerts a lot of energy, but it's crunch time.
That's it.
We are tied at 66, 2:40 to go inside of Ferris. Working on Schofield. It's tipped away, ball is loose, and chased down by Fort Lewis. 12 to shoot, back to Ferris. Fade away from the free throw line, no. And Nichols chases down the rebound. There's 2 stops.
Yeah, and now a chance to take the lead. Need a solid possession here.
Pagenkoff will pull up, right side jumper, no, short. And the rebound to Danny Garrick.
Back to defense, it's the way the game's played. You got to forget about that possession and then come down and get another stop.
2:05 remaining. Chance of defense raining down. Garrick to Whitman. Cross-court pass Hokanson, right wing. And an offensive foul as Hunter Schofield ended up on his back on the floor.
That's Ferris' 4th.
Yeah, he's just going to kind of go through him, and Schofield feels the contact and was kind of backpedaling, and officials call it, and now Dixie State
going to take a timeout.
Yeah, I like this. I thought that last shot by Jack, I know he just made a sensational and one, but I thought maybe a little too quick. So see what Coach Judkins wants to drop here and give his guys a little break for a second so they can keep exerting all that energy on the defensive end of the court.
When Jack Pagenkoff misses shots, it's usually long. That one was short. He has played his heart out tonight. He's given it everything he's got. This rest is important. If you look in this huddle right now, those guys are keyed in. Jack Pagenkoff, Hunter Schofield, those guys are Dixie State is in a position to win the RMAC because of those guys.
Yeah.
And they know what this means tonight, and they're going to come out this next 2 minutes and really lay it on the line.
Pagenkopf 32 minutes and Schofield 32 minutes. They've been on the court side by side all night long. And then Hokinson's played a game high 33 minutes. Actually, Whitman's got 34 minutes. So, I mean, there's a couple of guys on both teams that have been out there a long time tonight.
Hey, you got here with those guys. You need to finish with those guys. And the good thing is Dixie State's got a great bench. You could go to Andre Wilson at any time. You've got Cameron Chatwin waiting. Leighton Parker. I mean, you've got some guys you can throw out there if you need it. But Ferris with 4 fouls, Carrick, that's huge. I mean, if you're Dixie State, you've got to go right at it. Make him make a decision. Are you going to contest or are you going to give up a bucket?
Yep, I love it. Dixie State with the possession. 1:50 remaining. We are tied at 66. Here's Youngblood. Driving past Hokinson. Stops. Gives to Jack Pagenkopf. Right corner. Pagenkopf ball on the floor. No look pass inside. Schofield missed it, but he's fouled. Good look from Pagenkopf.
Yeah.
And Schofield had it, but he's got it. You can see him kind of blinking. Hit across the face there. He'll have a couple of free throws.
Yeah. To watch a player like Jack Pagenkopf pass off of the on-ball screen. If you watch those passes, I mean, it's so Stockton-esque how he can come off of that on-ball screen and place a perfectly placed bounce pass to his big guy. I mean, that's so hard. People don't appreciate how difficult that is.
And Schofield missed the first free throw.
That's a big miss.
Right between those two defenders. There's such a small window there. He does a good job of finding Hunter Schofield.
1:37 remaining. Schofield will have a chance to try to make it a 1-point Dixie State lead here. On the way, he missed them both. Rebound to Fort Lewis.
Nerves. He looked just a little nerves there. Line didn't look comfortable.
66-66. Can Dixie State dial up another stop? With 1:24 remaining. Hokinson.
Schofield felt falling down.
And so does Sang, and he loses it. Dixie State the steal. Youngblood in transition. Missed the layup. Tip put back by Pagenkopf. No, but he's fouled at the bucket.
Wow.
Bodies falling everywhere on that play.
Huge effort again by Dixie State on the defensive end. And you know how many games do you exert everything you got? You make a bunch of threes and you make a bunch of great steals and blocks and rebounds and all that. You fill up the box score and it comes down to free throws sometime. And
Dixie State 6
big
of 12. Fort Lewis 7 of 15. So neither team shooting well from the free throw line. Here's Pagenkopf. He makes the first. I don't think Dixie State wants anybody at the line but this guy right here.
No, I'll tell you, he went to shoot that free throw and it's like your voice was echoing. It was so quiet.
I got to talk quieter, don't I? Okay. We're on the 18th green. And he makes the second one.
I'll tell you what, though, that was a pretty good effort on the block on the putback there.
Yeah.
I mean, both these teams bringing it tonight. This is a fun matchup.
Dixie State by 2. Hokinson driving inside, kicks to the left wing. 3 on the way. No. Offensive rebound, putback. Yes, we're tied. And it was Sang again. He's cleaned up on the offensive glass. We are tied at 68. Here's Wilson kicking to Schofield for 3 straight away. Bang! Hunter Schofield for 3.
You know, we talked about that play of the game. We knew there was going to be somebody step up at the right moment, and that time Hunter Schofield embracing the moment. That moment was not too big for Hunter Schofield.
And nobody called timeout. The referee wanted to put more time on the clock. He wants it up to 45.1. He gets it. It looked like somebody had called timeout, but he just...
I'll tell you what, Andre Wilson, great creativeness to get to the middle on that last kick out to Schofield. You can't ask for a more wide open shot because of the job Wilson did.
Dixie State by 3, 71-68, 35 seconds remaining. Hokinson to Ferris, he'll fire a 3 to tie. No, too strong, tapped around, Hokinson offensive rebound. Ferris again straight away, no, ball is loose. And it's gonna be tied up. A foul against Fort Lewis. And they made that call right in front of the Fort Lewis bench. Or no, did they change it? Is it against Dixie State?
That should, the coach.
It's against Youngblood.
Coach Picker is asking for a jump ball. It should have been a jump ball.
It's against Youngblood.
That is a jump ball, guys. Look at, they're both fighting. They're both tied up.
It's a travel or a jump ball. One of the two.
Yeah. If you let it, if it wasn't tied up long enough, then that's not a foul. Come on now. At least in my humble opinion, and
you are humble.
Juddy doesn't like it. He said that's bull.
Well, he's saying there's no possession. I mean, he was bobbling the ball. There's just not any possession there.
You know, hey,
wow.
It's tough. I mean, I don't want to be too critical.
Well, they
tough,
initially, he blew the whistle and he pointed in favor of Dixie State, and the Fort Lewis bench lost it.
And then he kind of retracted.
And then they kind of talked, and then they said, no, it's on Dixie State.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of those where you kind of blow the whistle and go, what am I going to call?
Yeah.
It looked crazy. It was a wild sequence. Everybody's on their feet. But it's either a jump. I agree with you, Mike. It's either a jump ball, and it's a quick tie-up. There's no question. Or if you allow that not to be its jump ball, then it's got to be. Nobody fouled anybody. They're just hustling to the ball. They got there almost simultaneously.
Yeah, if anything, well, here's the thing. They're both fighting for possession. They're both standing on the sideline almost. We're going to get a look at it right here. And, I mean, there was nothing there.
Yeah, I just don't see enough. And I hate it when it's decided by a whistle when both teams are just giving everything I got there. And I didn't see enough to draw a whistle there. But I kind of feel like maybe it was one of those ones where inadvertent, but I got to make a call, and I'm right in front of the other coach. That was a weird setup there.
Yeah, well, we got 23.6 seconds. Dixie State with a 3-point lead. And
Sang is just a 55% free throw shooter.
I was going to say, that's the guy you want
and
on
Coach
the line.
Judkins just called timeout to draw up some things, but also to make him think about it.
Yep.
And really, offensive rebounds have hurt them. I mean, Ferris misses 2 threes, and those long caroms are tough, I know.
And this is 1-1 here. And it rolls around and falls through.
It's okay.
Big free throw there.
Yeah, well, you can't give up an offensive rebound here if you're Dixie State. I mean, you know, play the averages, 55% free throw shooter. You've got to block off and secure this rebound.
Second free throw. He missed it badly. He airballed it.
Wow.
That's nerves.
Yeah.
I mean, he just short-armed that.
Did not
and the ball was going back up the other way.
You know, Sang's walking back saying, really, you got to yell that? It didn't hit the rim. I mean, you're right in front of me.
Well, we had Jack Pagankoff racing the ball back up the other way. For a minute there, I thought that maybe they went soccer style and we're going quick restart.
Yeah,
you know, the ref doesn't need to touch it. Let's go.
Yeah.
And with this press, you know, if you can get a quick pass or two, you might be able to score because you certainly know Fort Lewis is going to try to foul pretty quickly here.
It's going right to Jack Pagankoff.
And they'll get it in to Frank Stain. Stain is trapped and then fouled.
And I don't know.
Timeout? Did he call a timeout or foul?
No, they called a foul. The referee raised the close fist arm straight up.
I would have let that double team stay for a little bit longer before I would have fouled. And I was blocked. I couldn't see what happened down the corner.
And music just started playing inside the Burns. I think they thought it was a timeout too.
Yeah.
There's no foul there, guys. Again, like I said earlier, I don't see a lot there. I mean, they got them right where they want them. They don't want a foul in that situation.
Had a great trap.
Did I miss something? Was there a foul there?
We'll take it.
Yeah. Everything evens out in the end, right? Stain, free throw missed.
You need this one. You need this one because you don't want to lose it on a last-second three.
Fort Lewis going to take a timeout.
It's our last timeout, right? That's our last timeout?
That is their last timeout. According to the scoreboard. Scoreboard says 1, but that'll go down to 0.
Well, the last
Keep it right here.
Their last timeout, I thought for sure that they've got one in their pocket. When are they going to use it? And he just used it. That was their last timeout, 20.5 seconds. So now, Dixie, you're thinking, okay, are we going to be up 2 or are we going to be up 3? If you're up 3, you've got to start thinking about, do you foul at some point when the clock's running down so you don't give them the 3? You can take the 2 points on the free throw. 20.5 seconds is way too much time to be thinking about a foul if you're up 3. But if you're only down, if you're only up 2, you've got to be careful.
Yeah, and who do you want shooting a 3? I mean, who do you take away? Sang's 3 for 4 from three-point line. Ferris is not scared, and he can get a shot up for anybody at 6'9".
It's Sang for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Garrick's 2 of 4 tonight, so it's not easy to know who to try to take. You just got to play solid man-to-man defense and make them take a deep one, and you certainly can't foul.
Yeah, well, it all goes.
Well, it depends on the free throw. Yeah, if they make the free throw, you actually could foul and put them on the line.
Yeah.
Which Juddy has done.
He'll play straight up until it's 5 seconds or less. 3 seconds or less. If there's less than 3 seconds, you're up 3. In my opinion, you foul. You never want to give anybody a chance, especially somebody like Sang, who he's hit some big shots tonight.
Well, the last thing you want to see is this game possibly go to overtime. That's what happened in the Mines game.
Yeah. Well,
you got to win in regulation. You got to close it out. Here's Stain to try to make it a 3-point game. On the way, it's good. It nearly popped out, but the freshman makes it. And now Dason Youngblood will check in.
And that one was popping back out, caught the front of the rim, and then went down. And now
inbound pass to Hokanson. 18 seconds remaining. Dixie State's got a 3-point lead. 72-69. Hokanson will drive inside. He'll take the 2. He missed the layup. Dixie State's got the rebound. And here comes Youngblood. They're getting away from everybody. Wilson to the baseline, and he's fouled with 3 seconds remaining.
And they gave Hokanson the lane. They wanted to take away the 3, and he had the open lane, but I think he thought maybe the shot block was going to come, so he kind of put a little bit further out, made it a tougher shot, and he just missed it.
Well, and then how about Dixie State able to get away from everybody? I mean, so you see the layup come off. Schofield, a big rebound, and he quickly finds Youngblood, and he gets away, and they're not able to commit a foul.
You see Jacob Nichols calling for the lob.
They could have ended the game.
Andre Wilson saying, "You kidding me? I throw a lob right here, and Coach Judkins will never forgive me."
First free throw, no.
Need one.
And Andre needs this one to ice this one with 3.5 seconds remaining. Remember, no timeouts for Fort Lewis.
Need one.
Andre Wilson to ice it on senior day.
Dixie State will not foul.
On the way, got it. They won't foul, that should do it. 3.5 remaining. They'll let the ball go to Hokanson, and you just don't. Hokanson will fire it. He let the clock expire first, then took a 3, and Dixie State hangs on for the win.
Big win.
73-69.
Big win on senior night. Jack Pagenkoff, 27.
And I just got the game ball, guys.
27 for Jack, 11 of 20 for Pagenkoff. Past Dan Stock, all-time single-season assist. Hunter Schofield, monstrous second half, including the 3 that was really the play of the game.
The play of the game. Catering Concepts play of the game was Hunter Schofield, straight away 3-point shot, splashing it home. And our SkyWest Airlines player of the game, no question tonight, Jack Pagenkoff. 27 points, a career high, 11 of 20, 2 for 3 from 3. The only Trailblazer who didn't miss a free throw tonight. He goes 3 for 3 from the stripe, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 rebounds on senior day.
Fun one, guys.
Wow.
Exciting. And I hope we got a few more in the Burns in the postseason, because it was electric in here tonight. I mean, good job by the fans, and there was a lot of plays for them to get on their feet and make some noise. And I think that really helped, because I think there was some tired players out there, and I think that energy of the crowd really is a factor tonight.
Yep, absolutely.
Dixie State winning it, 73-69. Let's look at our second half highlights so then we can let the TV crew get cleaned up and do their thing.
Yeah,
Frank Stain, this started it.
Yeah,
First possession offensively, Frank Stain hit that 3 and was like, okay, here we go.
Yep.
And Jack started getting guys involved, and that was a beautiful reverse there by Hunter Schofield. And then Frank actually powering through and just taking advantage of a little size mismatch there and getting the and one. This was my favorite play of the night too, though. Woo! Sky in one hand, jamma.
What do we got to do to get him on the radio in the post game?
Just ask your friend to your left. Where's Steve go?
Where'd he go? Oh, we got cupcakes over here too.
Another,
we got highlights going.
Another
still.
big bucket by Jack, and he's telling his team to talk, and then Jack, just another 3 of his 27 tonight.
Hunter Schofield had just 2 points at the half. He scores 17 in the second half, and that's exactly what we talked about. Jacob Nichols, a big 3 from the left wing.
And that came from the ball movement. They started really moving the ball and getting the guards to the middle and then getting kickouts and then taking advantage. A lot of points in the paint. 40 tonight to 26. Dixie State leading, and that was a hard drive by Schofield and a nice finish, and then nice little whoop, ball fake, and then bucket there. Awesome job by Dason Youngblood tonight. And then this steal, a sensational steal here by Pagenkoff.
And then he just took it right at the defender in Whitman. Got the bucket and the foul, made the free throw. And then there's the Catering Concepts play of the game, the 3-pointer straight away. and that will do it. Dixie State a 73-69 victory. And the Trailblazers winning this one and absolutely had to have this one.
Clutch.
And what an atmosphere in the Burns tonight. And you know, what a way to finish the regular season home schedule.
Yeah.
In front of the home crowd, and they brought it. You know, we got to get a shout out. You know, if you're just sitting in your car and you're leaving and you hear us right now, thank you so much for coming out to the Burns Arena tonight and making some noise, because it was felt and you could see it pick up these players tonight. And you guys were the sixth man tonight.
Yeah.
What a crowd, what a performance.
Wow, amazing game. You know, we said Fort Lewis wasn't not going to go away, and they didn't. They went right down to the final buzzer, and they played this Dixie State team as tough as anybody this year. And, you know, it comes down to just heart and wanting it more. And they absolutely just took over the last few minutes and really won the game.
And it was fun to see how many 6 ties, 9 lead changes, guys. And a lot of those, I mean, Fort Lewis controlled the whole first half. Dixie State never, ever led in the first half. And so they really went back and forth. That was that typical seesaw battle in that second half. And the momentum finally grabbed by the Trailblazers. And this one's going to feel good tonight. Still a lot to clean up, you know, with the last 3 road games of the season coming. And everybody's gunning for the Trailblazers. Yep. You know, with the ranking, with the inside track to host the conference title. You know, Dixie State, this reminds me a lot of the season they left the Pac West. Remember, they had the 17-game win streak that season. They put the banner up there, and this has got a lot of the same feel to that season a few years ago. And it's fun. It's fun.
Region rankings can be coming out soon, too. I mean, that's got to be very soon. If not this week, next week
Wednesday?
Especially. I don't know for sure, but it's getting close, because you're just a couple of weeks removed now from the conference tournament. Those rankings are always out before the conference tournament. It'll be interesting to see
top 3
where Dixie State ends up in the region rankings.
You got to be top 3, 4, don't you think? I mean, top 4 for sure.
I mean, there's a few teams.
Some of those Texas teams, South Central region, you know, it's a tough region.
Yeah, no question.
For sure.
But I mean, you're 21-4, and you're a tough team with a great record too. I cannot see them in that opening regional ranking being below the top 4.
So.
But that's just my opinion. I've been giving it all night long.
What a game. Dixie State wins it. 73-69. Let's do this. Let's wrapping it up on the TV side. Big shout out to our CEC TV crew.
Yeah, great shots tonight.
And all season long throughout the regular season. Our final regular season game, of course, you know, we're going to have a quarterfinal here, so we'll have one more basketball game here at least. And we're hoping to finish things off and to be able to host, you know, the rest of the weekend that week as well. So CEC TV crew, don't get too comfortable, because here in a couple weeks we're going to need you to come back. But we'll let you get going tonight. Thank you so much to our CEC TV crew all season long. Great work putting in the long hours that they do. That'll do it for our TV broadcast. On the radio side, let's take a 3-minute timeout and come back with the Guru Sports Grill post-game report. Back in 3 minutes on the radio side on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.